still waiting for Dimitri's
I also have an
reaction to show
eat
up.
that might challenge you on those offerings.
Yeah.
And we are back for our Mystara session up to session number 135, or Phase 3, Season 2, Episode 28.
Why am I never ready to write down all of that really fast?
I did warn you I was starting the game, and then the music was going, and...
and I was off in Ariadne World.
I have to admit, I don't write down the phases, I write down the session numbers.
I give two, so it's easier for people to keep track of, and for players to realize how much of the story they've been in, and it's easier to do it via season for that.
If
So
I could just get the session number again.
it is session number
135.
135.
And what date are we?
It is the 27th day of the 7th month of the year 1011. And just because things rarely align, that is the 12th level instead of 11th level for the characters. Because, hey, nothing's ever perfect. Except for the moon phases connected to the months. Always on the 15th of the month is the full moon.
And months only have 28 days. I know this because we moved into the next month on Monday.
Okay, so what else do we need to do? Okay, so for some reason my brain is still in the I had a good sleep this afternoon, do I really want to wake up? No. Okay, so at the table today we have Rhiannon.
Hi, I play the Air Genasi Ranger Cleric Hildren, who is cautiously optimistic about spending a night in Rapanathak, but doesn't trust Dimitri in the fact that he looks okay, because, you know, it's that pig's place and there's a lot of illusion.
Next up today we have is AJ.
Hi, my name's AJ. I play a humanoid merchant bard, Makeda Aiden, or Merc for short. I feel like, Merc's definitely a negotiator by heart and surrounds himself with people that can protect him or perhaps do some dirty work on his behalf. But I feel like even in death, Merc would try to negotiate with death itself.
Well, everyone who dies does speak to a god. Might not be their god, but a
I was
god.
going to say, if you die down here, you'll be negotiating with that pig.
I think I have a good relationship with him, speaking with him.
Well, you are currently on speaking terms.
Mm-hmm. No use burning bridges at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Next at the table today we have is Martin.
G'day. I'm playing a medium wood elf, good Darrakan urchin with the fire aspect, and monk level 12, and Path of the Kenzai. I don't know much more.
His name's Trellin.
Trellin. Yeah, Trellin Silverleaf.
That does help.
Kenzai. Yes,
And he was a halfling, but he got taller.
that's right.
Next.
Not that much taller.
Twice as tall.
Twice as tall, yes. Just not as tall as many elves. So he's just a little short for an elf.
Considering the other elf in the party is a giant doesn't help very much.
Which brings us to Sean.
Yes, I am playing the other was elf. He is a water genasi now and is a fishman thing. It has been identified.
And whose name is Cetus.
And not Cletus.
Depending on who you talk to, I'm sure.
I feel like that could be a song.
I'm sure you can still put a twang to Cetus. Cetus.
Yep.
Still works.
Yeah.
Still works.
I'm trying so hard not to make a D's nuts joke.
I'm sure you can call in Texan if you really want to. Or is it the Southern Drawl version?
Well,
He is
I
Kinda
imagine
from the south.
Deliverance, and yeah, that's right.
He spent most of his life in the southern continent, so he's technically southern.
Which then brings us to
This
Calcryx.
is where the GM has to earn his coffee.
Sorry, hands
So
not
its
doing
eyes
so well.
up first into the camera, big, adorable eyes, so close you can't tell what's going on, and then you zoom out to see Calcryx, the white, formerly dragon with the jazz wings.
That better?
Jazz wings being one of her performance spells that has earned her many a friend and diplomatic treaty.
Including on Monday.
When I say formally, she looks like a white dragon, but she is now silver. After a self-determination day, she asked herself what would she self-determine as, and she said, I don't want to be a chromatic dragon. I want to stop taking orders. I want to tell people what to do and boss them around. So now she's silver, metallic silver. She has black, where Avatar, soft toy. Calcryx has black on the tips of her horns and down her spine and on the edges of her tail. And she has blue scales that go that sort of frame those bits. And that's because she has 3 elements, not 1. And she is accompanied by a companion rather than a familiar. And it looks like a pitcher plant. It's a carnivorous plant that kind of comes up in like a open sort of shape, not like a fly trap shape. Except instead of green, she's black and grey and very much dark fey. And her name is Eep. She's been known to take demons who threaten her party companions
And some of her party's legs.
from their home realm or home plane, draw them through to her plane, and then obliterate them from existence with bone-crunching, noisy happiness.
And now whatever she eats sounds like bone crunchy, noisy happiness.
Yeah, that's it. It could be soft cheese, and it sounds like that. Some of Calcryx's biggest things, just because you guys haven't met her before, is she had started a coffee franchise. So Calcryx's coffee is known throughout Mystara. It is literally being supplied anywhere she's visited, from Yalarum to Karamikos. Even the hill giants in Karamikos have Calcryx's coffee, because if she's been there, she's given them plants and she's asked if they wanted to have a franchise. You'll find Calcryx's coffee in every one of Redrian's inns. It's kind of like her place of communication. That's how she talks to everybody. And she also does teas, because not everyone drinks coffee. She is like every good dragon, covered in bling. Ring on every fingers, rings on the horns, ear piercings. Her adventures have included a lot of encounters with children who have decided that they wanted to draw all over her. So a lot of her adventures have been drawn on her scales. So if you spend a little bit of time looking at Calcryx's sides or tail, you will see some interesting things. And the last bit, which kind of gives you a clue to her heritage, is there's a legend about her first battle on the battlefield with the Master, where she was, I think she could only go up to large size then, and she was in the air fighting the undead, and she got struck down by the Master himself.
No, one of the Master's servants. The Master
one of the
wasn't there.
Master's big servants, one of the big bads, basically. And the dwarves fighting with her will report that a tiny-sized plant picked up the white dragon and carried her off the field, yelling death to the infidel, and even the Master's forces shrank away from said plant. And ever since then, Calcryx has a set of gold scars on one of her wings. And it is probably not coincidence that Bahamut is often surrounded by things of gold. Gold servants, gold canaries, gold rings. So, you know, if she happens to mention Dad, that might be who she's referring to. Mum won't be Takesis, not at all.
Mum is Lots of different colours and has 5 heads.
Right.
Yeah, that one.
That's the fun one.
The fun one.
Yeah, the one no one wants to face.
know?
Fortunately, because of her day of self-determination, she no longer risks being the avatar of... It's not Tikis, it's Tiamat.
Both names are valid.
Both names are valid. She no longer risks being Tiamat's avatar. She now only risks being Bahamut's avatar and starting a dragon war.
Yeah, was going to start a dragon war either way.
Well, if she only became Tiamat's avatar, then the dragons would go to war with everyone. If she becomes Bahamut's avatar, the dragons start a war with each other. And the world's not quite sure which is worse.
Yeah.
Oh, and she wears a chest plate. It doesn't look like the shield of Bahamut at all.
No. It's not literally in the notes as Bahamut's shield.
Yeah,
Okay, so did you want to do a recap for everyone for the last session?
please.
You guys good if I do it?
Yes.
You got the notes.
So the beginning of the session, Dimitri was in Rapanathak and the rest of us arrived at the keep. We arrived to find, instead of the Northern Reaches guards that I was expecting, we found a couple of centaurs standing outside the gates with unusual masks that made their faces look black. Rhiannon had trouble remembering shifting characters and made a couple of mistakes and let Merc make a couple of mistakes as we were trying to figure out if we were still on the Feywild, if we'd been transported back in time, what was going on. Turns out that while we were asking those questions, if you ask a question, you are basically getting a gift from a Fey, and now Merc is up to his knees in obligations, and Hildren is up to her neck. Basically set up in our keep was the Wild Hunt. The rest of the people that we'd left in the keep had all sort of gone into the main building and stayed there. Apparently they can leave through the gate and re-enter through the gate, but that is all they can do. So we sort of gave up a bit and just realised that there's nothing we can do about this, and we'll see what's happening in the morning. Merc identified the dagger and sword we found in Rapanathak. The dagger is a +1 dagger with connections to the cult of the Black Earth, and the sword is a +1 weapon tied to the planes that can hit creatures that aren't fully here. We got a long rest. Dimitri had a long rest in Rapanathak. Doesn't know how it went because before he fell asleep he read from the Book of Good Rest. So he seems fine and he thinks he's fine. We'll see what happens. While he was dreaming, he was basically a contestant on a game show, a trivia game show, where he was being asked about his life and himself. The other contestants were playing We Know Dimitri. One was a doppelganger Bradshaw, so a dwarf, and the other one was a barbarian who grunts a lot. Dimitri tried to hide the info and turn the questions around back to the quizmaster. The audience were very appreciative of the dwarf and the barbarian, but anything Dimitri said got a boo. And Dimitri lost, being the worst at knowing about Dimitri. He woke up covered in sweat, but prestidigitationed himself and looks fine. We'll see. Back at the keep, we woke up to the sound of a forge. The Fae were still in the keep, and when I went to the window to look out the window, they all started looking at me. The forge sound was coming from Drezel's tower. I sort of felt that I needed to go and meet them, so I went down. At the gate this time was a unicorn and a treant. I asked, how may I help? Sadly, it wasn't the unicorn who responded, it was the treant, who used a dialect of Sylvan, which basically meant that every sentence took 30 minutes and were only single syllable words. I tried really, really hard to word things properly, but somehow managed to summon elves from the Fae who are going to work on our keep. Again, up to my neck in debt. We did find out that the way we can help them is to keep the pig busy. And yeah, I guess now we're going to come back to a really strong keep, hopefully. We had breakfast of fairy bread with 10 knives. We asked the clerics to help Gelver, who we had brought back from Rapanathak, because we wanted to ask him questions when he recovers. Figure we need a fair few greater restorations for that. And we went to the barrack. We went back to Rapanathak to find Dimitri. Dimitri had explored a couple of things, gone back to the entrance room. We met up with him. I did an insight check. He says he feels good. Merc did a minor ethermancy to find out Dimitri's emotional state. He was bored and full of himself, so normal. Dimitri told us about what he'd found the night before, so we decided to keep exploring between the pentacle door and the skull door, which we think is the summoning door and the death door. We were keeping Cetus and me at the front, with Merc in the middle and Dimitri and Trellin at the back. I had a vision, as I tend to get at the end of long rests, where I saw place inverted, which is find a place of social gathering that has been abandoned. We may have already done that, we may not, we don't know. And that pig was talking to us all and started singing a lullaby from my childhood, changing the words to be creepy and warped to me in my head. We found an abandoned, what looks like a fire pit and cooking room. Cetus did a perception, got a nat 20. He got a whiff of pig not cleaned. There was a winged shadow creature on the far wall which disappeared when Cetus moved, and none of the rest of them saw it. Dark vision was a bit obscured. Merc did dancing light. Made it to look like a medium humanoid, but came across as a winged pig-like humanoid. So magic is distorted and having fun with us. We explored around that room, didn't find much. We went to the next room. Merc listened at the door. There was a whisper of the names of Merc's kids with dates of their death. We checked for traps, didn't find them, though Merc got a splinter. Cetus went through. There was another corridor with statues of Merc's children, hung, dismembered, etc. near the door. We went, okay, and shut the door and went on to the next one, where Merc again listened at the door. He's been told that he's cheated on a tax return and tax agents are trying to take his merchant status. He checked for traps, no traps, went into... he was then reminded by the door the oath of paying taxes and saying he's broken an oath, which is great because the wild hunt is in our keep. Cetus opens the door. There was an empty room with Merc's full name and date of death for tomorrow carved into the floor of it. Dimitri used his robe of eyes and found an imp on the ethereal plane manipulating the image of the floor, which he didn't actually tell us, so we all saw him speaking to the air and went, are we sure he's okay? While Dimitri was doing that, he sees a secret door, he finds a mechanism to open it. There was a corridor going south. Dimitri kept talking to the imp. We all went to check out another door, which told Merc there was an account. His accountant is cheating him, and he is now not meeting his obligation as a merchant. Cetus listened to the door and heard about his wife being pregnant with a little girl. Mm-hmm. We opened the door. There were no traps. Merc was told there's a warrant from his arrest, and Merc is now has a warrant poster out for him for treason, reward for 20,000 gold, which Merc thinks should be higher. We found a room full of cobwebs. We went a bit probably mad at the cobwebs and burnt them all. The room had nothing in it, so we went back and went through the secret door.
Well, it had cobwebs until you burnt them all.
Yes, or spun them all with my minor aeromancy. Dimitri listened to a door this time. It praised Dimitri's expertise and said we should listen to him more. He ignored it because, Dimitri already knows that. checked for traps. He opened the door. There were 2 secret doors we could see in the room. However, there was liquid on the roof. I went in the room to see what was going on. Nat 1 did dex save and got green liquid on me. And found out that the slime on the roof was dripping acid. We ended up cauterizing the wound, which damaged me again, but I am also a healer, so cure wounds.
Well, that's when they realised it was green slime and not grey, because dark vision doesn't give you colour.
Yep. We went to the secret door on the north side of the room, found some... saw that there were cracks in the ceiling. We opened the secret door, we found 3 treasure chests. Dimitri opened them. We kept Merc well away from them. We got through them fairly easily, no damage. There was coins.
Why did we keep Merc well away from them?
He likes gold.
Merc fell into
Why is that
2
a bad
traps.
thing?
Merc fell into 2 traps because of gold.
Oh, okay.
Last time he
Almost
touched the
died.
chest, we had to pull 100
Yeah.
times. Was it 10
No,
times
that was
off
the
of him?
first. The second time was where I sacred flamed a leech off him.
Ah, yes.
That's okay. Understood.
No, the leech was before the 10-ton
No.
pillar, wasn't it?
Leech was
it was.
before the 10-ton.
Was it? Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
The leech was the previous session.
Are we saying leech or lich?
Leech.
Thank goodness.
Bloodsucker.
So
Yeah.
We're only on the first level, so
Dimitri
Yeah,
found a
this is
few
That's
things,
what I mean.
Cool.
Thank goodness.
including a single vial of like rainbow swirling liquid, which when he put in his pocket started to get hot. Merc was at the other door and got slimed. Dimitri realized that his pocket was getting hot. Pulled the vial out, found it was flashing multicolors and getting hotter, so he decided to run to the fire pit room. Makes sense. However, when the vial exploded, it caused the ceiling in the room we were in to collapse and acid slime to run everywhere. We managed to get out without too much damage from that, but it forced us into the other room. Where we were exploring the other room with the doors shut, because that's what you do when there is an increasing amount of acid slime in the other room, and found a treasure chest in the back with some basic stuff in it. With some, basic adventuring stuff, including a wizard robe that was crimson with stars on it, a silk gown with stars that we think would suit Cetus with his fancy shoes, some holy water and stuff, the sort of things you'd expect in traveling sets. We then all had to make con saves. Again, I got a nat 1. Wonderful!
You need to cage that dice.
Yeah, no, I've already rolled to see which ones are rolling well today. Let's see how that goes. Trellin was the only one who managed to stay awake. He pulled me out and woke me up, doing quite a bit of damage to me as he's stabbing me through the shoulder.
Isn't that how you wake people up?
Well, I have a different way.
That's how my wife wakes me up.
He woke me up, so I was able to hold my breath, being an air genasi, and go in and use my minor aeromancy to wake up Cetus. It only took two goes to wake up Cetus. Cetus tried to hold his breath, but just held in the gas, which turns out is carbon monoxide. But we managed to carry Merc out. Cetus vomited all over the place. We woke up Merc with minor aeromancy. Took a few tries. Dimitri, at this point, was still exploring the vial of chemicals and discovered it was an unstable alchemical bomb. He hears us coughing and moves back to us. Merc cures some wounds. And that's where we ended, in the corridor just outside the carbon monoxide room with, I think I need to do some healing on me. But yes. No, I think we healed me up. I think I'm on 137.
I think I healed you.
Yeah.
I thought you'd been on you.
So we're currently standing in a corridor outside the carbon monoxide room, away from the acid slime, probably breathing heavily, and staring at Dimitri and going, "What the fuck, dude?"
And some of us well rested because we've had a nap.
But he's changed.
We don't know
We
yet.
don't know yet.
Okay.
I'm probably in a room. I'm probably not.
Right.
Just appearing. I'll probably use a transportation circle. But it will be entirely up to the GM.
They've already been told transportation circles won't work.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, look, I know like 3 different gods who'll happily just bamf me into a room, so...
Yes, unfortunately, those gods don't have power here.
But it could take you through the fade.
I haven't eaten.
Could just walk through the door.
I mean, at this point, it would have been just after Monday session, timeline-wise. So it would have been, instead of going back to the road to the Ethermancy cult, you would have bamped to us somehow.
It could be that whatever magic that Drazzle's put in place that moves me, or Red Dream that moves me between Monday and Friday, just is redirecting me to Wednesday because it directs me to where I'm needed the most.
Which is funny because Friday is about a month behind us all.
Yeah, Calcryx has a lot of. What's that word that you used once? It was really good. Was it? No, it wasn't disillusion. It was dissonance.
Dissonance.
Yeah. She gets
Physical and
dissonance.
time dissonance.
Yeah, on occasion this is why she drinks all the coffee, to be honest.
And she's 12 years old.
You could also
I'm a
turn up the
tween
same
now.
way that Cetus did, just fall from the sky.
Yeah, Cetus was dropped by a giant eagle.
And not one of those is a baby. Unless, of course, that happened then too. Is this a common reoccurrence for Cetus?
What, falling out of the sky?
Yeah.
Probably
Being
not.
dropped by an eagle.
I mean, I don't think we've confirmed how he got down there.
Instead of flying like an eagle, you dropped by an eagle.
Yes, it was your wife that dropped you off, wasn't it? It wasn't your mother-in-law.
I don't think he confirmed that either. It was one of them. Could have also been his sister.
Yes.
In fact, no, his sister's a barbarian as well, so it couldn't have been her.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
None of my gods have power here. And I'm constantly praying. Well, not praying. Seeking
Don't.
divination and things like that.
Hildren will advise you against that.
What are the gods that do have power here? Is that something that my character will be advised of?
Just the pig
Probably
god.
by the rest of the other party.
If not by the pig himself.
My god has power here.
Just only in the keep.
No, I can still cast my divine spells. They just might run amok.
Oh!
Like
Calcryx
Hey, look,
explode
Calcryx showed
each
up.
walls.
Let's go say, Martin, you need to more responsibly place the dragon.
Well, it doesn't always fall.
Well, at least you can put her in the corner this time.
I want this baby in a corner.
Just because I was using her to hold the GM screen.
So yeah, that's where we are. Standing in a
Okay.
corridor, coughing, with Cetus's vomit on the floor beside us.
Yeah, well,
And all of us glaring at Dimitri.
Nice.
I
Vomit
may
that
not
looks
have
strangely
for
a lot like
a
salt
little
water.
while, so it'll be,
Okay, as you stare at Dimitri, everything sort of goes dark. You hear the sound of hooves. At least you think they're hooves.
Wild Hunt.
Oh no, they're coming for you, Merc. Run.
Yeah.
I told you!
Got no honey on me.
And everyone staring at Dimitri finds that when the sight comes back, there is a rather confused white dragon filling up most of the corridor.
Silver.
Well, they don't get to see that as clearly in unless they've got a light source flashing at this stage.
Okay.
Dark visioning at the moment.
Most of them use dark vision, which means they don't get shiny.
Fair point.
So there's no difference between white and silver.
I feel like I should cast Prestidigitation and Glow just to emphasize silver now.
Merch says,
Megan by
am I having
minus-
side effects, or do I see a dragon down here?
And you see a little black thing on its shoulder waving at you rather suspiciously with a cookie.
And
I
it
think
yells,
we might
"Turn
still
to
have-
the infidel!"
Cookies.
I think we might still be having whatever that gas was. We might be high.
I can do something.
Did you see
I
it?
found some weird mushrooms in
Did
the
you
forest
see
in my
it? Is
young days.
this an orchestra? No.
Oh,
Damn it!
Damn
Is this a pig thing? see it? Is it the gas or what?
I mean, if we're-
Calcryx looks at you and goes,
I see it.
pig?
Yeah.
I don't see or smell a pig.
Oh, this dragon speaking.
That would probably
Pig
be
god.
fine.
Pig god that we do
dragon
not
can
mention.
speak like 50 different languages. But
Yes.
yes, she's speaking common.
The pig
She's
god.
speaking whatever you're speaking.
Speaking of, do not say the pig god's name. First up.
There are a lot of gods. You may need to be a little bit more specific. Calcryx pulls out a book with pictures of gods and just starts flipping through them.
No,
Go to
no,
R, go to
no,
R.
no. Hey, my god! No, no, no,
Yeah.
no, no.
Just
That
so
one!
you know, there's a picture of, what's his name? Your god, basically.
Zerchev.
Zerchev, that's it. I was going to say Zeus, and I'm like, no, it's not Zeus.
Not Zeus.
Yep.
Yeah. So, God, no, 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 no. Oh, look, my god. No, 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 no. That one.
So,
do not say that one.
You guys are going to hate me for this.
Zerchev,
This is a
the
pure
Arthur
Calcryx
Claw.
moment. Oh, Orcus!
That's two.
Okay.
No one say anything.
Say what?
Don't you dare.
I'm
What am I not
really
allowed
sorry.
to say?
Player knows bad idea. Character is built to just yell it out impulsively.
Oh, we've already had a character do that. But
Um,
they did not tell him he wasn't allowed to say it, so he said it 3 times.
I
It's
did
okay.
explicitly say. Well, I didn't
You didn't
explicitly.
say-
I couldn't say the name.
It's okay. She got that you couldn't say it, and then she kind of looks up towards the ceiling and goes, "Oh,
None of us can say it.
so why is this rule a rule? Is it a game? Because I'm
yes.
good at playing games.
That'll do.
That'll do. It's a game.
Whoever
What
sa-
are the rules of the game?
Whoever
How
says
do
the
I
name
win?
Don't
loses
say
the
it.
game.
Last person to not say the name
But
wins.
if someone accidentally says it, what happens?
We all get very, very upset, and eventually something bad.
Are we talking something bad in real
Last
life?
time somebody said it too many times, a fiend appeared out of our friend's car.
Calcryx looks up at the tiny little plant friend sitting on the lunch.
Death to the infidel!
Yes. If a fiend appears, Eve, lunch, dinner, breakfast, 11sies, second breakfast.
So the little black picture plant seems to be looking at each of you intently to see if any of you are fiends.
Oh, by the way, would all of you like a cookie? They help heal and restore you. And the plant starts handing out cookies. And if you don't accept it, the plant looks at you very suspiciously.
I take the cookie.
Merc still thinks
Sniff
he's
it?
high, so he
I mean, if we're all seeing it, we're probably not.
Does it smell like poison or
Perhaps.
something?
Smells like cookie and chocolate.
It should taste like whatever you like eating when you eat a cookie. So if you like peanut butter cookies, it's peanut butter. If you like honey cookies, it tastes like honey. If you like cinnamon cookies, they taste like cinnamon. If you like chocolate cookies, they taste like chocolate cookies. It's my special cookie. I'm Calcryx, by the way.
Merc takes a bite.
Hi.
It's nice.
You've probably
I watch
heard
you.
of me from
Are you
your...
okay?
It tastes like licking a gold coin.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
And
That
a clean
doesn't
gold
make me
coin.
want to
It would
eat the
taste like-
cookie anymore.
It makes me want
No,
to eat all
but
your
when
cookies.
You eat,
It's
you eat
delicious.
the cookie,
Why were you looking gold
it'll
coins?
taste like your favourite thing.
That's what I like to do.
Yeah.
I'm sure that was part of his pastime as being a merchant. Is you got to be able to tell the coin by taste.
Bite into it.
Okay, Hildren eats the cookie. It probably tastes like fresh bread.
Yep. And it doesn't have to, if you've got like 5 different favourite things, it'll be whatever's on your mind at that moment.
Fresh baked bread by a mum.
Yeah. Calcryx says, you've probably heard of me from your overconfident and exceedingly thinks he's knowledgeable friend Dimitri through his communications with one of my friends, Luel, who I usually do missions for Regerin with.
Has he ever mentioned a dragon?
No.
He
No,
would
he's
have,
too busy
actually.
talking about himself.
But I
We do
believe,
send letters to him. He probably would have mentioned me in passing.
But I believe you have the same name as the
Um,
coffee.
Yes, that is my coffee.
Oh, I trade your coffee often.
Yes, it's a very marketable and profitable item. Speaking of which, do any of you guys need healing?
Did I get healing from the cookie?
Not that much.
Not that much, but I can hit you with what's called a coffee seed barrage, which will hit you by, I think it's 1d4 hit points.
I'm 11 down.
I'm only 2 down, but I'll take it.
I think Cetus was fine. I think he took damage last time.
I got stabbed multiple times.
Sorry.
My shoulder is still probably dribbling slightly.
It was all in a good cause.
Sorry,
I'm not
look up
complaining. I
seed
just injured.
barrage coffee, but
I touched the
I
one and
don't
put
think
salt water
the
in it.
details in my thing.
I glare.
It builds character.
Where's
I
my
genuinely
seed?
cannot think of something to see
Okay.
what Cetus's cookie tasted like.
I'm from the
that
northern
isn't
reaches. I'm
weird.
used to salt water.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a flavour for Cetus's cookie that isn't a
So it
weird,
does
inappropriate
four-
answer.
four-
No,
Fish.
nori.
46?
Mm-hmm. Because it is
Seaweed.
at a second level.
Like the
spot.
Japanese
second
seaweed.
level.
You've had some of my nori rice crackers.
I was thinking, it was like, does it just taste like a seaweed cracker for him? Or does it taste like a fish? And is that weird because he's also fish?
I mean, do you eat meat?
9.
I mean, we all ate elf.
Well,
We all ate your tentacles,
Yeah,
so
we've
Nine
eaten
people.
one of his tentacles, so technically we've all eaten elf meat.
I don't think
Recently.
Cetus would have an issue with it tasting like
What?
fish. We had it for breakfast.
That,
yeah,
what was
remember
it?
calamari.
We had calamari that one.
10
like,
knives.
10 Knives made calamari for us like 2 days ago.
Because he stocked
was
up in
me.
the kitchen, so...
Oh.
He stocked up in the kitchen, so, he said if he stuffed up, he'd take a finger, so Cetus grew his tentacle, he took part of the tentacle,
You're
and we all
technically
had
a cannibal.
calamari that morning.
Right.
So,
Okay.
it was 9 hit
Oh
points.
no, that's written down in your book that you're. Oh no. His,
9?
these
Yep.
people
Well,
wrote down in this book that he's a cannibal.
I've written down good, so I'm not sure.
They might all be cannibals now.
So you might often have heard Dimitri refer to me as that damn dragon who has the Z ring. I've got a ring that he thinks belongs to his sentinel, that he keeps demanding that Calcryx gives back, and Calcryx is like, his sentinel gave it to me to use until I need to finish it with the
Dimitri
master,
thinks
so
everything belongs to
I'm
him.
not giving it back to you. So I imagine Dimitri's and I's first conversation is, where's the ring, give it to me, and Calcryx's like, if you can find it on me, you can have it.
Dimitri thinks everything belongs to him.
Calcryx has a secret chest, nobody knows about, so good luck.
Okay.
So Merc,
That's player knowledge, not
Yeah.
character knowledge.
I was going to say, so Calcryx is talking in third person now. No, I figured it out.
so Merc, over the crunching of the cookie, will say something like, "What are you doing here? Where's your party?"
I have a very unique role in Redrune's group. He sends me to where I'm needed. So I'm in more than one party. I travel with Drachnama and what I call the fun party, which is 4 weeks in front of us. And then I travel 4 weeks behind us with the Chaos Goblin party and my adoptive parents. But they have help from the Wild Hunt right now. And your Dimitri is missing, so I guess I've been sent here.
That's when you do realise that Dimitri is indeed missing. You wondered why it was so quiet.
Yeah.
Oh, Dimitri's been taken, borrowed by the Wild Hunt for something. I don't get told because sometimes that's a time thing, and you can't talk about the future stuff in the now because you can change the future stuff, and it's not ever good.
So we don't
Okay.
think we don't
So,
think explode.
what's your role?
Protect
Is it a
you
tank?
guys.
Is
I
it a
protect you
tank?
guys. I'm a very
So-
good diplomacy person. I make friends with everybody, even people who people think you can't make friends with.
Okay.
I made friends with the avatar of the Queen of Darkness. He's like 100 feet tall, and he looks like, kind of like an octopus that was on land, and he was going to kill my whole party. But I taught him that coffee has a very unique flavour when made right. He really likes it, and we're now pen pals.
Apparently, when your first interaction with an avatar is to pull your sword, jump at it, and then fall 100 feet to the ground below, you're probably not the best impression.
Right.
Especially as we had 3 characters do it in their first action.
Fish or seaweed?
Maybe
I
both.
don't know.
Merc looks at Cetus and like, are you related to the octopus avatar?
I don't know.
I can ask Herman if you like.
Just out of interest.
What are your names?
So my name is Makeda Aiden. I go by Merc.
Merc. Nice.
Hildren, ranger cleric of Zerchev?
Oh,
She's
I
the
know
leader.
Zerchev. We're friends.
She's the unofficial leader
He
of
likes
the
my
group.
coffee.
I'm sure he would.
Trellin Silverleaf, Wood Elf Kenzai Monk.
I've never met a Kenzai monk before. Calcryx
There you go.
enthusiastically shakes your hand.
There you also remember him as Willie Toscobble.
Yeah,
Weren't you a halfling?
when I was in the Underdark, or whatever it is,
Hollow World.
Hollow World.
I've not been there yet.
So, I'm not sure how you could tell.
I'm pen pals with a lot of people. I talk to a lot of people, and apparently have a lot of unique abilities because the Sultan of Yalarum is one of the few people who actually have tea with me alone, and he can see the future, and he seems to think I'm special. I don't know why yet.
Okay.
I think it's because I gave him coffee and cookies. I did steal his spear though.
Reputation
Borrow.
of the Sultan of Yalarum is he doesn't suffer fools gladly, which means Dimitri's in a lot of trouble if he ever meets him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and sees the
borrowed.
future.
Borrowed. And cousin of Herman?
I am one of Drusella's children.
Do I know what that means?
That's all you're probably going to get out of me.
But
He,
what
I
do I
have,
call you?
I have grown up with too many fays to be giving away my name so easily.
I'm not Faye.
I can't trust that, I'm sorry.
Okay.
So you had no problem giving us your name?
I know you're not Fae.
What do you call
This is a
him?
dragon that just appeared out of nowhere.
That's a good point.
She
It is
point.
she looks
it
at
is a
Hildren
good
and goes,
point.
what do you call him?
Fish man.
You guys...
And you hear, "Death to the infidel!"
Meat shield?
That
Sacrifice.
sounds very disrespectful.
He doesn't want. I don't feel like I can give you his name when he won't let. When he doesn't.
If someone
want to.
else says it, it doesn't count for
I
fame.
was going to say, he's not
It
giving
only
me his
counts
name
if
you
the
guys give
person
me
says
Do I
their
know
own
that
name,
from
yes.
my interactions with the Fae?
That is
points
the
that
common
out.
thing is that Fae can only get power from the name if you say your own name. If someone else says it, it's fine, but if someone's recorded you saying it and plays it back, it's the same as you saying it.
Okay. So I look at Cetus and go, can I say it? I don't think that it would give the power that you're afraid of.
So Calcryx points
I do
out.
believe that is a loophole with it, yes.
His name's Cetus.
Cetus. Cool.
He's
Now-
hunting Genrick.
Speaking of... Who's Gemrick?
My father-in-law.
Why are you hunting your father-in-law?
He's a little too generic for you.
He wrote his name all
I know
over our
what you
keep.
mean. I want to kill the boring man at the King of Wenda.
Well, you see, this is Drusella's lands, and he's Drusella's ex-husband, and he wrote his name all over the land when he was last here, about 3 days ago.
And then said the pig's name 3 times, and everything changed to the pig's name, and summoned and a fiend came out of the cart.
That seems like a little bit extreme for this, but I can understand your anger. Speaking of Fae, this is Eep. Eep is Dark Fae. The only thing you can accept from Eep without obligation is the cookies. The cookies protect you from Exantiotl and his corruption. They last for 24 hours. If you eat a cookie, Exantiotl has trouble influencing you and corrupting you under his control. Do not accept or give Eep anything else. Not even compliments.
Can I give Eep the cookie?
You can.
No? No.
If you haven't eaten
no,
the cookie yet, Eve's probably just standing there trying to force it in your mouth.
If you don't eat the cookie, it does indicate that you are a follower of Exantiotl and Eve will eat you.
Ah.
Eve's not allowed to eat party members that are friends. If a party member's not a friend, then it's fair game.
Yes. So you are
Which
safe
technically
from
we haven't been identified as that yet.
So I'm just going to formally introduce you to Eve as Eve. These are now family. You can't eat these people. And you can't eat Dimitri when he comes back too.
He looks disappointed at the last one.
I understand.
I think we're all seeing it.
What size are you?
Large.
Will she fit?
She's basically filled the corridor, which is why it was such a shock.
Speaking of which, would it be appropriate for me to change down to medium?
It would.
Now, the big O that's bothering you guys, is
Big
there
O.
a
Sounds like too
reason
much of a compliment.
why? Like, you seem to indicate that saying his name invokes him.
Well, because we're in his dungeon.
I see.
We're trying to... He seems to have an avatar on our plane. We want to get rid of that avatar. To do that, we need to lessen his influence and power, so we are exploring his dungeon in order to try and destroy some of his shrines, which I think he probably already knows, so
Yeah.
it's not worth worrying about
So-
saying it.
Would Calcryx know that she's in Repanathac?
Roughly, yes.
So she goes, we're in Repanathac. Okay.
What one of those places that adventurers go to die?
That's
Oh, have a lot of fun.
So you're currently on the southern continent?
Yep.
We do have a stronghold, but it's filled with the wild hunt at the moment. They seem to be doing something to our friend,
Whose friend?
Drazzle.
Oh, my brother.
Okay.
okay.
Real weird.
Is he well?
Last time we saw him, he was asleep on the altar to Zerchev in the keep.
Good. He's been taken care of.
He disappeared he had disappeared when we returned, but
He's had to do a lot of time walking recently, and that really does tire him out.
Zerchev did tell me that. But Drake seems the horse seems
is good.
okay.
Yeah.
Horse
is
seems
always
happy.
good. Horse is always good. Horse and I are good friends.
He tried to get to be friends
Oh.
with Horse.
Horse wouldn't share his puddle with me.
Please tell me Valen's still with me.
He's still with you.
The silver dragonborn that you might
But
see-
currently on the other side of, until Calcryx shrinks, it's like, yes, you can't see behind Calcryx.
So this is Valen. He is my, I guess the best way to describe him is my squire. He protects me and gives me knowledge about certain things. And he will protect you. He doesn't talk much. He likes to read an awful lot.
So like Drazzle.
Yeah. Yep.
Drazzle generally writes an awful lot.
Yes.
He keeps track of all my journals. I am a very good map maker, by the way. I'm very good at touring dungeons and tombs.
One of my skills too. We'll have to discuss. We'll have to compare maps
To
when we.
answer Trellan's question, I'm part protector. I try to talk before I kill. If what I'm talking to tries to kill me, they die. And I like to tell stories in my spare time, and I like to read a lot of books. And then Calcryx pulls out a bag of holding, dumps out like 50,000 books, and then just starts putting them back in. If you ever want to read a book, let me know.
Okay.
I know legend lore. If there's anything you want to know about, we can talk about costs, and we can find out.
Okay. So, welcome. Lovely to have you. I feel like we should probably keep moving. Our aim at the
Yes.
moment is to do an overnight foray into Repanathac and then return to our keep tomorrow.
Let's get going.
Okay.
Don't go into that room. we'll pass a couple of rooms that we tell you don't go into. Because we've explored them, and either they're empty, or they'll kill you.
Noted.
There's also a few spots where the floor just isn't there.
Oh, yeah, who's going to take over tapping duty?
I get that.
Awesome, thank you, Merc.
Do you have any maps of the dungeon so far?
Right.
Yeah, I pull out a map that I've been
Calcryx
taking.
will get Vela to copy the map into a map book for her.
No, my ability to resize and give extra space seems to not be working on the tool right now. I can only add space to one side, which means, well, I can't really draw the rest of the map out on there properly.
So where the red dot?
Draw the red dot, yes.
Okay. So, we could go to the end of the corridor, jump over the trap, and go up. Or we could go down and try to see what's closer to the barracks.
Would a true sight ritual help you guys right now?
I don't know. Would a true sight ritual help us?
I don't know.
I'm not going to object.
True sight work for Martin?
You don't know.
That pig does tend to do a lot with illusions.
It's not it helps you see through illusions. But I can do it as a ritual. But it'll take 10 minutes if I do it as a ritual.
I can chill for 10 minutes.
Right, so until the spell ends, the target gains true sight to a range of 120 feet. The target also knows secret doors hidden by magic, and a bunch of other stuff.
Well, considering our eyes of robe of eyes has just disappeared, might be useful.
If it works.
Okay.
Well, usually I can cast it on myself and go first, or I can cast it on more than one person. Player talk, I do lose roughly 30 hit points every time I cast it on somebody else.
Is true sight 30?
When she casts it at 6th level.
So
It's a
if
6
we
level
go
spell.
left and then up through the double doors and then go to the immediate right.
Well, we just came through the double doors.
I just remembered something. I have an orb I could put true sight on and send several feet in front of us, which means if there's traps or no floors, it should be able to see that.
The other suggestion I would make is me, because I tend to scout ahead.
I just mean if there's no floor, floaty orb doesn't have a problem.
I'll see it with true sight.
Yes, but she doesn't have to cast True Strike when she uses it on the orb.
Oh, I don't? I just have to use the orb?
The orb itself has a little floating eye,
Yep.
and the little floating eye, you see it through the orb, as if seeing through the eye.
I forgot about that. Alright, well, then we could just do the orb.
Because technically it's a crystal ball.
Yeah.
We didn't have telepathic bombed up, did we? No.
No.
Dimitri hadn't cast it, so that's not a problem. Orb works.
Okay.
Just tell us if you see anything.
I will send the eye forth. Which direction did you say, Trellin, you wanted the eye to go in?
Whatever.
Well, the reason I was thinking is we come this way and go up, because we've just come through the double doors.
Okay.
So we're talking left and right at the moment? Or we're
So if we
talking
go-
down towards...
If we go
the
right,
ground?
can you scroll down? So, based on the map, we've already discovered all of that. So we could go down, and there's a door there that we know about that we haven't opened.
Right.
Or we could go up and try and carve our way back to that point. It's a big loop.
Okay.
What do you think?
Flip
Look at the guys. What do we want?
I say southern door.
That sounds good.
So the area we've already explored, keep exploring out, mapping out that area.
Just, should that door directly south next to the barracks?
Yep.
I say let's go have a go.
Yep, makes sense. So try and just stay, expand slowly.
Just to close off that loop of the back.
Yep. Okay, so we want to venture. Also probably a good idea to show Calcryx the barracks as a possible.
Bit of a
Base point.
safer sleeping quarters.
So yeah, we'll go back around.
No, this is good.
So you guys, do you mention the other things that you've noticed as a part of this being Orcus's domain, like the...
That doesn't count, that's player talk.
It is player talk.
Yes, but it still counts.
Does it? You
Yeah.
didn't tell me that. No,
She gets a
I
pass.
just want a warning. It's my first game.
You still got one more.
Come on.
We are
It
technically
is my
one
first
away.
game, and I thought it was a character thing.
No, I've been
It
told off.
wasn't made specific. But I know it's specific
Okay.
now. No more chances. The Big O. Did you guys mention that you have magic is distorted and that dark vision is impeded?
As we're traveling, we'll run through the rumors that magic doesn't work right here. I'll probably tell you about casting Call Lightning and exploding a wall of a keep,
That's good to know because lightning's kind of one of my things.
and the cloud that was summoned turning into a skull.
Right.
There's also the slime rain.
Yeah,
But
we'll
I don't
talk
think
about.
that wasn't us though.
So
No.
that means any spell might go awry?
Haven't had it happen since, but that particular battle, it was all empowered.
Okay.
We'll talk about the fact that the rumor is you can't spend more than 10 nights here.
Is this why you want to go home every night?
We're slowly increasing the duration of. Dimitri seemed to be okay after spending a night here, but it's Dimitri. We don't really trust it. I'll mention, like, as we're walking, I'll probably also mention the other rumors of the area. So, like, the Black Knight who collects eyes, the druid who lacks fire, which we think is his mother-in-law. We know about a bear who thinks he's the king of the forest, and Cetus says we should probably
We need to go
go
deal
teach
with
him things again. There were gnolls, goblins, and just all the sorts of stuff. I'm trying to think if there was anything else important that we need. Oh, the village. Told her about the village and the crossing. Not Zerchev. What was it?
Which one?
The village,
The
the
one
Zed
with the crazy
ferry.
necromancer.
Zalcor's ferry.
Zalcor's ferry. With the necromancer, and I'll tell her the story of the necromancer who was the perfect opposition to Dimitri.
That sounds like a great story.
Can Murph check the door for traps?
You can
Yeah.
check.
Cetus will also explain the relationships between everybody in the party, because that's the first thing he learnt about them.
What are the relationships between everyone in the party?
17.
None of them have a relationship with each other. Merc wants to sleep with everybody. She's actually the leader. Dimitri thinks he's the leader.
Merc hasn't done it yet, but he will. See, this is a handsome man.
I was going to say, I have trouble. My fiance's back at the keep now.
Okay, so Merc it seems to be hearing what sounds to be like a gaggle of former paramours.
I was going to say, do you mention the voices?
Would you roll?
17.
As you're examining the door for a trap.
Because
So I definitely communicate this back to the
Calcryx has a suggestion of asking whether or not casting protection from good and evil might help with the voices.
Don't know if it'll help with the voices, but it might. It does. From my memory, it doesn't last that long, so probably,
It doesn't.
No, it doesn't. But
probably maybe something when
keep in mind.
we'll keep it in mind.
Keep it in mind, although Merc doesn't mind talking to.
Paramours.
Yeah. Okay.
There's
Yeah.
always
Okay.
opportunity for a bargain to be struck.
Or male or female. Where are we going here?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Both and neither.
Fishman.
Oh, did that fisherman appear in the conversation?
I'll get back to the fisherman. It's only that I think the exact words were, "You've seen better looking tree stumps."
Yep, that's the exact
That
words.
was the thing that threw me.
Just so you mentioned these paramours that you can hear.
I do. I communicate
Okay.
back
Okay.
about the paramours. And is it a wooden door with a handle?
It is a wooden door for handle.
And I don't find any traps.
Not that you can find on it.
Very specific wording.
Should we?
I mean, I can do, because I've got thieves.
Careful with your
I've
coffee.
got aptitude with thieves' tools.
Thieves' tools only work if you found a trap or it's locked.
Very few of these doors have been locked.
We can do what we used
I
to
was
do
going
with
to
doors.
say one of the
Kick them in?
tanks could open the
Kick
door.
them across the room.
Do you feel like kicking a door across the room? We
No,
might want to close
no
it
steps
though.
Back, steps back from the door.
Yeah, no, I really
Well,
don't think we should.
He
kick
kicked a door off its hinges and squished 5 goblins.
Yeah, look, well, that could be good if we decide we want to close the door. It's not going to be very helpful.
We
I
can
think
just
last
put
time
it
we
back.
destroyed a door and we were running away from the fog. Oh, there's a fog that comes out at night that freezes you.
That originates from in here, but I don't think we've found the source yet.
Question for the GM.
Mm-hmm.
With Calcryx's Ring of Mind shielding, does she hear voices?
Not yet.
Okay.
Well, actually,
no,
you have
do.
heard quite a few voices because you've been hearing the party.
No, I mean like...
The voices aren't in our heads.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I have a ring of mind shielding.
So does
Right,
Cetus.
And
okay.
I hear it.
So you still hear the voices even though...
What's the voices saying to Calcryx?
Nothing.
Yet. We'll find out.
So should we test at the next door? Do we want to continue the test we did with Cetus, where somebody else listened
We could try.
and see if that influences? Anyway, we'll see what fun they have in store for you.
Okay.
Trellin,
Oh,
do
so
you
you
wanna-
only hear the voices when you go next to a door?
No, we just get specific things, and then the room seems to change to that specific thing. So we've
May I
seen
just
statues
touch-
of his dead children, and
May I just touch the handle? I won't open it, I promise. I just want to...
yeah.
Well, I can't find any traps, so if you want to open them and have a look in.
I just want to touch it and see if...
Yep, the door exists.
So, nothing? Okay. Do you want me to open it?
If you'd like to.
Yeah.
It seems to be based on if you listen at the door, it influences, but I wouldn't mind finding out more about Merc.
Calcryx... Oh, well, you can if you want to... I don't want to...
No, you can open the door. It'll still be a room dedicated to Merc.
Oh, okay. That's fine then. I squeeze my eyes shut and open the door.
And as you open the door, everyone can hear voices coming from the room going, Ermac, Ermac, Ermac.
Calcryx looks up at each of those leaves and ears, please.
Okay.
Merc loves an orgy. What can you say?
Just smirk into the room.
How many kids do you have now?
Couple that I know of.
Okay.
I definitely look into the room.
Okay, so as Calcryx had intentionally closed her eyes not to see, you're the first to look into the room, and you can see what looks to be a bunch of swaying people saying your name.
Is it dark? Like, can I see well?
It is dim. Everything here looks a bit shadowed.
Does it look like frozen people saying the things, or does it
No,
look
they're-
like a
it
writhing
looks like
mass?
they're moving. Writhing mass of former people you've enjoyed.
Okay. Can I cast Dancing Lights?
You can.
Just the 6 spheres in a clear or white light,
Hmm.
and just shoot them sort of the corners or around the room.
You can put them in there, though they do have to be within a certain distance of each other.
Yeah.
But you can do an entire line out as long as...
Tell me if there's something in the room that I actually want to see. I'm going to stay out here.
Okay, so as the room lights up, you see the room full of scantily dressed people that you're reminded of, all in various states of undress and death.
And death?
Okay.
As they all turn to look at you with that, cold, dead stare, but saying your name with passion.
Is there anything else in the room worth going in for? Or?
You're not sure, but you do get to make an initiative roll to see if you want to do anything before bad things happen, but it's Merc at the door at this stage. He gets to make the roll.
So it's just Merc?
Mm-hmm.
16. And
The most
initiative
squishy
is
of squishies.
intelligence?
Normally it is perception, but you can technically use perception with intelligence.
21.
Okay, so what would you like to do as they seem to have locked onto you?
Close the door.
Okay.
Do you want to tell us something?
And everyone can hear the Merc coming from the other side of the door.
I just say
I thought I was into some weird shit.
I actually
Well, we
don't think
don't
there's
know,
much
they
in
look
that room. Probably not worth going in there, team.
And you can feel the door starting to be pulled away from you.
Didn't Calcryx open the door?
Yeah, he shut it.
Can Calcryx have been the one who pulls it closed? Or did she open it and let go?
I believe you would have opened it to let go, otherwise Merc wouldn't have been able to shut it.
Okay, alright, so...
Yeah, so Merc
What is coming?
goes behind the tanks.
So you let go of the door.
What are we facing?
As the door opens, you can see what appears to be scantily clad men, women, and you're not quite sure what.
Calcryx.
In various states of undress, and then you notice they all look like they've died horribly.
Calcryx is going to try and... Because she's the next closest, she's just going to try and reach that door and shut it.
So it's going to be a initiative check for everyone.
For everyone?
Mhm.
What's initiative again?
Perception is the best initiative.
Okay, so I have...
I'll be fine. It's a 19.
Let's go that and that.
And Merc can make another check.
18.
21.
Plus...
Fairly sure I
What
took
was
bonus
Cetus?
initiative, but I can't remember.
What was Cetus's?
22.
Hilderon's?
Not 20, so 32.
36.
What's your perception?
I got a 19. Then perception is wisdom plus 11. Then I get a d4 from Eve. And then
What?
Eve gives me a d4 roll.
The plant
The
thing.
plant, my companion. Yeah, Martin's taught me how to add it up correctly now, because I used to deprive myself of Eve and my proficiency. But now I'm able to add them all up together.
So
my
Calcryx got...
perception and my persuasion are charisma are my highest stats.
So Calcryx got 36.
And Hilderon gets to go first.
Yeah,
Sweet.
You got a natural 20, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Merc, what did you get?
Nice.
21.
Cetus?
22.
18.
Sorry.
It's always interesting when 18 is the lowest of the party.
I rolled a 12 and got 22.
You know what? I haven't had a chance to do this yet. I am going to channel divinity, please.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to channel divinity. I am going to... sorry, gotta shift through to my cleric's feats. Turn undead. So they have to make a saving throw. I don't know what type of saving throw. It doesn't tell me.
Okay.
And it's destroyed if its CR is lower than my threshold for the level. I don't know what my threshold is. Sorry, I've never used this, so...
It's always a first time for everything. So, cleric. Cleric it does have a lot of pages attached to it.
Yes. Not as bad as a druid, but...
Channel divinity.
I don't use channel divinity much. But as we are facing undead, why not?
So it's a wisdom saving throw versus the undead.
Yep, so they have to do a saving throw.
Just trying to see about the destroying them part. Is they up?
Yeah, it's something I got at a
version.
higher level.
Empowered turning.
Well, even with 5e, it just...
So how many times have you chosen destroy undead?
Only chosen it once. I just chose.
Which means it only does creatures of half CR, half or less.
Yeah, which I'm guessing these are not. Because I chose turn supernatural for the other one.
Okay. So wisdom saving throw means they got a 16.
Is that against my spell wisdom? My spell save?
Your class DC.
Because my spell save is
Sorry,
20.
spell save, yes.
My spell save is 20.
So they failed, but they're not destroyed. So the creatures are turned until they take damage or 1 minute has passed.
So turn basically means they start fleeing from me. So they're starting to run back into the room.
Yeah.
Or shuffle or whatever. Can I look at the closest one
Mm-hmm.
and as a bonus action do Sacred Flame?
Okay.
So Sacred Flame is a wisdom save on their part.
That will fail that.
So that one takes 5d8 radiant
No, he doesn't, but you do roll your 5d8.
and radiant damage.
Because they're not individual.
Okay. It's a swarm.
Horde, actually. Horde is different to Swarm. Similar capabilities, but different interpretation.
I mean, they count as one creature.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's no fun. I can't throw them into each other.
Okay, 10, 16, 19, 27.
So 27. Okay. 27 points of damage, and it's still standing.
Well, the horde is still standing.
Well,
Some of them might have burnt off on the side.
I guess it does kind of also answer my question of how many of them were there.
And I step to the side of the door, not blocking the way for others, but like trying to take on a frontliner position.
Okay, so then it becomes Calcryx's turn.
I don't seem to have. I just wanted to basically look it up to see what it does. Daylight in here, even though it's in my list.
It should be in there. I'm fairly sure all of them are in there.
I've looked like 3 times and on different things. It's
Let me pull up.
a level 3 spell.
Let me pull it up.
60 foot of light? 60 feet radius light or something like that?
Let me pull up your spell sheet.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to see. There has to be like a source of
Well,
light or
it's
something.
it's quite bright in there, but I do have the details of daylight available.
I just don't know if it'll work or if it's appropriate.
It won't give you any better than the dancing lights.
Okay, alright.
Yeah, no,
that's
it's
why I was trying to
sunbeam.
look up.
It's Sunbeam that's good against undead.
Yeah, I think.
Daylight is just a bigger light spell.
Yeah.
As I
Yeah,
found out
okay.
whilst doing the vampire campaign.
That's okay.
Daylight, that's a good spell against vampires.
Okay, I need to... Oh, it's because it's a ritual. I need to add daylight to Calcryx.
That's probably why it's a ritual. I had.
But she didn't learn it as a ritual, she learned it as a spell.
I haven't.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Well,
down
well.
here as a ritual. So am I
Magic.
putting it in as a spell or a ritual?
I have it marked as a spell for her. I may end up putting it down as... No, it's down as both, actually.
Waterfalls was my other option.
But then I won't be able to attack because it
Uh,
blocks from both ways.
It does, doesn't it?
You can do radiant damage with your dragon breath. You know that.
I know, and I have greater dragon breath as well.
What?
Okay.
You can use magic to change your breath weapon.
And because she's 3 elements, it is radiant, isn't it? No.
Not one of her elements.
So, Dragon Breath is less likely to be prone to distortion as
I
my
just
breath
cast-
weapon.
I just channeled Divinity and cast Sacred Flame. I use Divine Magic, it's fine.
Okay, so
But you also attacked it, which turned off your turn undead. So you basically you activated turn undead, then deactivated the next action.
That's because because I hadn't thought about the fact that it's a mass. And when you told me that, I'd already started thinking,
Mm-hmm.
oh well.
so I think I'll just do make like Monday Root.
Mm-hmm.
And,
But I've proved it works.
Lightning Breath a lot.
Okay.
I think it's called Lightning Bolt. It's the
No, you used,
cone.
that's Dragon Breath.
I think it might be Greater Dragon Breath.
You can just do your own Dragon Breath without casting the spell.
That's what I mean. Because I'm pretty sure that can do radiant damage.
We don't know radiant damage yet, though.
Undead.
You don't know radiant damage yet
I
as a
messed
dragon.
it up. I thought she did. I thought for some reason I had it in my head you did, but apparently you don't.
You because that's the fire element which he hasn't
Yeah.
taken yet.
Oh, okay, but I thought Lightning Bolt did hurt lightning.
Everything can
lightning-
hurt undead.
Yeah.
It's just Radiant is particularly good at it.
Okay, but I thought I'm getting confused now because I thought you told me that the lightning spells are.
I'm just looking
Radiant.
at lightning spells aren't radiant, no.
Okay, like the lightning effects and stuff like that.
It's
They're
lightning
just,
and thunder.
They're just lightning then. Anyway,
So
I'll
you
just
have
use-
necrotic, psychic, cold, force, lightning, and thunder damage you can do.
Yeah, but I think when I've asked Martin what's effective against dead with my breath before, he's always said lightning is the one that I choose. So lightning is also Calcryx's thing. She's a white dragon.
You're standing next to a Tempest cleric.
Anyway, so I'll use my natural breath weapon and lightning.
Okay, so that
Lightning
becomes a saving throw for them, which they fail because they have a minus to dexterity. Basically, if it succeeded on a character, I'd be asking exactly what your character has taken for stats. And that means you will be rolling, I believe it's 2d8 at this stage for your
2d8,
breath
yeah.
weapon. And then you get to double it because it's an area effect.
It is, that's a d8. Check. 4 is 11. And 16.
Before or after you doubled?
So the first roll was 4 and 7. The second roll was 1 and 4.
Okay, so it was 16 in
16
total,
alone.
and then doubled 32.
Yes.
Turn undead would have been awesome if they were individual undead. Whoops.
Okay, so yes, you blast them with your lightning.
How much damage was it?
32.
32 damage.
It's not quite like the line of archers.
Well, it would be if they were individuals.
Which then brings us to Cetus.
I would like to rage.
Mm-hmm.
To remember to do that before I attack.
Yep.
I always forget to do that.
Is that a bonus action?
Yes. Unless it's a free action with this one, I can't remember.
No,
Some
it's a
of-
bonus action.
Some of them can, on initiative, go to rage, but they have to declare I'm going to rage when they roll initiative.
Yeah, I have a different one. I can use my rage to pause initiative for a turn. If not enough people beat it, I can re-roll initiative for everyone. So I will rage and I'll take the tail mutation. Or transformation, I guess.
A tail pops out.
What does it look like?
It's a stingray's tail.
So it looks like a stick sticking out of Cetus with a muscle attached to it.
Okay.
Sounds
Well,
kinda
most of
weird.
them have a long barb that is very
that's their
sharp
tail.
and a point, and then they just flick that into things to kill them.
Mm.
Such as Steve Irwin.
Do that.
Merc would love the latest Bonds ad with Robert Owen in it.
That's it.
Merc would love it.
And then
I watched Ruin. They looked at it. It was
I will go towards it and hit them with my glaive.
Okay. You move up to them and get an attack.
Yay. That is a natural 20.
Okay, then that will definitely hit.
Now I have things that I can use whenever I...
Oh yeah.
Both when I crit and when I hit.
I don't know if knockdown and stuff would work for these guys.
That's why I have other ones I can do. I don't think
You
throwing
have
around...
like 8.
Yeah. Because I have both the one where I can throw them and knock them down, which is 4 of my 10 options. Because I had to take 2 levels on both of those. So both
To be
throw
able to
them
do
and-
both.
Yeah, to both throw them and knock them down in the same hit. Blinding and deafening probably isn't very useful.
I know, blinding will give him disadvantage.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if a horde can be blinded.
You don't know.
Mm.
You've rarely encountered group combat. Most of your combats have been solo.
Yeah, most of our combats have ended usually by Cetus smashing something or flipping something over.
Well, no, most of our conflicts have ended with us turning on Genrick and saying, "Stop putting walls of fire between us and the enemy!"
In the one combat he didn't do that, you got impaled.
Because you knocked me off because I was knocked off a stone pillar that you made.
Yes. Yeah.
This is why I needed more tanks in the party.
So I'm going to do the Relentless Attack Furious Critical, which I believe means I get to do another attack on top of my extra attack that I already have.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also have Infectious Fury, which is a subclass thing, which I will...
And don't you have improved critical as well?
I do, but I think that just makes it easier
Oh, it makes
for
it
me
easier
to
to crit.
Yeah. I have too many things. Just because I can't remember what the other option is for Infectious Fury, I also do an extra...
Basically, when you hit, you do a shit ton of damage.
Yes, I do a lot of damage.
Well, let's see how much damage you do.
Yes, Crushing Blow is the one you think of. I crit on an 18 to a 20.
Oh, I should have downgraded Dragon Breath.
Yeah,
I
there's
was
Infectious
getting
Fury.
confused.
I do an extra 2d12 psychic
waste it.
damage. That will
Just
still grab
leave
my
one dead.
2d12s.
You'll be fine.
I need more dice.
I do always get them confused though.
Yep. That's a lot of ones.
I was gonna say, let's see how you go against Seika with a melee sneak attack.
I rolled 11.
You rolled 11. Oh
Yeah, no.
On 3d10s and 2d12s.
How did
Okay.
you manage that?
On a crit as well.
So is that 22 in total?
22 in total
22.
from
Is that
Okay.
plus your...
Oh, that's just
Bonus?
that's just the numbers I rolled. I have to add the bonuses. Which is plus 6, so I believe that is a 28 in total.
Okay, all but 2 of them collapse
What do you see?
in various pieces.
I have 2 more attacks to do.
We're in trouble.
That's a 19
I
to
haven't
hit.
even got my symptoms
That is a
out.
hit.
Well, I have them out, but...
That's better. I rolled a 15 on that one, which is a 21 in total.
Okay, it goes down.
And then the last one was a
It's
total
dead.
of 20. Yes, and I'm hitting it again.
That still hits.
Gotta make sure.
I hit
Cetus!
Sure.
Cetus!
Well,
Cetus!
there were
Calm
2
down!
left standing, so do you hit the second one?
Yeah, so I rolled a total of 20 on that one.
That's a hit.
was a 6. Was that a 9? It's a 5 now.
Should have took the 6.
Yeah.
For a total of 20 damage.
Okay, it also goes down.
So is there no one left?
Well, there was no one left standing.
Except for Cetus, I stopped swinging.
Cetus, we understand you're jealous, but
I want
calm
more
down.
More combat.
Well, is there a pyromancy required?
Well, give me a religion roll.
If they're zombies, then yes.
Probably.
Can I do a religion roll to see if I identify them as zombies?
Asking Trellin, who is
Next in initiative? Well, Merc's next.
close enough between the two of them.
25.
Yes, you do recognize them as zombies, meaning that from what you know, the only way to actually destroy them is to crit or use radiant damage. Nothing else puts them down.
Okay.
No matter how much damage you do, you could do 1,000 points and it will still get back up again.
All right.
So do we think...
I don't think I've got any option.
Don't you have a life arrow?
What about
The life arrow gives you
disintegrate?
undead bonuses.
Advantage on
Cleric.
the attack roll
Give me a
and
minute.
unbreakable when attacking.
It's
called the fatal life arrow. I don't know.
Is his life arrow
It doesn't
like mine?
say anything about radiant.
Okay, then it's
You've
not
never
like mine.
tried it.
Alright, I'll try it.
Yeah, give it a shot.
Mine does radiant damage and gives me bonuses versus
How many
undead.
30.
Okay. Arrow hits the target and it just crumbles to dust.
Nice. Alright, I'll keep going. 29.
Hits the other one and it also crumbles to dust.
Nice.
So I didn't think Merc had radiant stuff.
I don't think he does either.
And I don't have any radiant stuff either, do I?
I have
Are you going to do
crits.
anything, or...?
Oh, no,
Well-
I do!
That
I have a
suspicious
ring.
mockery, really.
Unless I gave my ring away.
I can't remember.
Like, if they're already down, we're just trying to
Unless you do
destroy the
fire
bodies
once a
before
day.
they get back up.
Yeah, I
But
think
fire
we
is different to
don't
radiant.
destroy them.
Because that's the thing about
Ah.
zombies, is they always have a chance of getting back up.
Why
But-
have you put me in this campaign and after 12 levels not giving me any radiant stuff?
Because
I'm fairly
every-
sure most of your stuff is lightning or dark.
A lot of the other people have things, so if you had the same thing as everyone else, why would everyone else be needed?
I'm not going to do the job for everyone else. We work as a team. If we all have something with radiant,
Slash.
we can eventually kill all
It's
the bad
necrotic.
things.
Yeah, it is necrotic.
Yeah, that's something I forgot I have. I can reroll one of my damage dice once per turn. I could have rerolled
I
one
tried
of those
brutal
ones.
critical.
And that's not even a brutal critical
But
thing. That's something
aren't
else I
you
have.
Smashing them down?
I mean, I
So,
killed most of them.
Do
with
we
the crit
have bodies
anyway.
left on the floor?
No.
No. They're all disintegrated. I don't need to radiant the room.
The horde left behind D4 zombies, which then had the fortitude option. That meant that unless you critted or radiant damaged the remaining zombies, they just kept getting back up.
But we've taken all of those out.
Mm-hmm.
You okay, buddy?
Saw my ex.
So your,
So your exes... Did they look like that the last time you saw them?
Last time I saw them, they were alive.
but they were in that much state of undress.
They were in that much state of address, but a lot more flesh on the skeleton.
Okay. Welcome to the party, Calcryx.
He's always like this.
To be honest, I've seen worse. My dad has his dad's skull, so technically my adopted grandfather's skull, and he keeps playing a intimate scene between my mother and one of the other party mates.
Where they roofied each other.
Okay, you've set the bar high.
Okay, player talk. Which other party mate?
Okay, so Zal's dad's skull.
No, I know about the skull.
Keeps
Cheval
playing
had-
Cheval and Chauffeur,
Who I haven't
a
met.
previous
The Disney princess
party member,
Oh, right, yeah.
who was a
Cursed to be a Disney princess.
goth Disney princess, angsting. Her superpower was angst, and the thing that she really wanted to do was get changed back into a dwarf. And then when she finally got changed back into a dwarf, Calcryx asked her god to change her back into the angsty Disney princess because her polar bear companion got depressed when she changed.
Well, it was the couldn't help but sing, and every time the character sang, animals would show up. So literal Disney princess.
Druid?
No.
It was
But-
how we fed the
Ah.
axe beak. She'd sing, the cute animals would turn up, the axe beak would have lunch.
Like I said, murder hobos.
So yeah,
Okay.
this is kind of nothing. Glad I closed my eyes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
she does also
How
gets to
old are
roll a
you?
d6.
12.
Right. Okay.
4.
Okay. All good.
I don't
PG
trust that.
rating. So
I don't trust that.
You can see that the far end of this room has collapsed.
It wasn't me.
Do you want to pull out the orb and see if there's anything in this room that...
I'll send the orb off to
Well, you sent the eye, not the orb.
the eye. Yes,
CS, what kind of save did you have to make?
I'll get there. One day I'll remember everything.
Roll a
in order.
d6. I rolled a 4
I'll
and
send the eye
I don't
off
trust
and
it.
use the orb to see what the eye sees.
Okay, it doesn't show you anything else in that room except for the fact that the zombies don't look anything like they did when you were attacking them. There's no real semblance to Merc's paramours.
They're just the remains of zombies.
There's just like piles of bone and dust in here.
Nothing in amongst the bones and dust.
Nothing in amongst the bones and
Nothing
dust.
on the walls.
Well, the walls of the far end have collapsed.
Yep.
The ceiling above looks pretty brittle.
Okay.
Let's avoid brittle ceilings.
The sky is falling.
Shall we move?
Let's
I explained that the last brittle ceiling we saw dumped acid slime on us.
I almost killed Mark.
Prefer not to be slimed today.
Oh, he's the squishiest, so if we need to protect anyone... Oh, that's the other thing. If we die down here, the only way we're getting back up is as that pig's servants.
The fiends.
Yeah.
Just don't die down here.
Just don't die down here.
Don't intend to.
I have revivify and stuff, but I probably won't revive people down here because they can't come back
I
unless...
have a feeling my brother will probably mess with time if I disappear. But I really don't want to have to make him do that because I've had to do that in the past.
I really don't feel like carrying a large dragon corpse back to the keep so I can revivify you.
You just reduce me down to tiny and I'll be easy.
I can't reduce?
Eep will take care of me.
Okay. If we get back to the keep, I can pull you back up.
If Eep can carry me off a battlefield in large size, I'm pretty sure Eep can take care of me.
But
could
we need to
probably carry.
try and keep everybody alive.
Not planning to die.
Sweet.
I've got a flying carpet, so maybe that'll help you.
I mean, she's a
I'm
dragon.
medium right now because I had to change down to medium
Okay,
to fit
good.
through the.
She
Well,
has
if
the
if she goes unconscious, she bamps back up to large.
That's true.
So is that flying carpet weight?
It would then have the carpet underneath of her, like, a cushion. Is
Yeah.
it? We're going.
But I could go on my broom of flying and
Drag me.
Like a tool
Not
truck.
really. You are a lot heavier than the broom or the carpet can carry.
I would ask.
Let's just say Eve is going to take care of me regardless. Valen is also here to take care of me.
Look behind and see Valen standing in the corridor reading a book.
Valen is doing
I'm like, I forgot you were here.
He's doing an impression of Drazzle and just writing in the journal for Calcryx.
Yeah, I look at him and go, I forgot you were here.
He just nods in your direction and shrugs.
Okay. I'll heal you if you need it as well, Valen.
Alright, so
You have examined what you can
we
tell of that bottom area.
If we can get up to the top,
North it is.
up to
Yeah.
roughly here.
yeah, and somehow manoeuvre
I'll send my
around the trap.
eye ahead.
Well, you did have Dimitri draw all around it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
And then go north.
So we're heading up to that top intersection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say we want to go east. Remember, we want to explore this section before we go into the other section.
Okay.
And it's very likely that the north corridor just connects back up to the door to the
Yeah,
rest of it.
but the whole point, the discussion last session was we explore
Sending
this section.
my eye ahead.
Mm-hmm.
What do I see in my orb?
Okay.
Like, happy for people to vote me down. I'm just
That's
reminding
good.
you what we thought.
Cetus is just crawling around on the roof like a horror movie again.
Yep.
Okay.
So he's got his tentacles out and is crawling along the roof using his tentacles.
Yes, he no longer has the Dimitri tap in front.
That's your job
So
now.
I'm tapping now.
But the eye is also going ahead.
Yeah.
So.
Mm-hmm.
I tap everywhere I walk.
And everyone can hear the tap, 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 tap.
I mentioned that Cetus got stuck in an illusion and couldn't
Well,
get out.
Twice.
yeah. As
Twice.
soon as it ceases, I'll have a look and make sure Merc's okay.
I'm assuming he's in front, otherwise if he's tapping behind you, that sort of defeats the purpose.
He's standing... Okay, let's change positions. Let's have Trellin next to Merx. Trellin's got the best dex for it. Well, I mean, I'm 7 dex, but...
Yeah, well, I've got
You and I are the
24,
most
well,
dexy.
yeah, plus 7.
So you and I are the most dexy.
Yeah.
So one of us stand next to Merc. Merc does the tapping.
Probably would be
Yeah,
better.
and I've got the ring of evasion, which is
Yeah,
pretty good.
so if you two go forward, I'll be standing behind Merc, so I also have a chance of grabbing. You're running along the ceiling, and then Calcryx behind us.
But yeah.
Um,
But if we go,
Don't forget I got my eye going
Yep.
out front.
and if we go east, which is the direction we're going, we've been along that path before.
Yeah, we've been along that path.
But then we go south,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Well,
then...
I'd say we check out the door at the end of the east corridor first.
Okay,
and
no
then-
worries.
Could get another casino type place.
Don't say that. We don't
Yeah,
need that.
That's...
Yay, more gambling.
No!
Yay.
Gambling is bad! Didn't you learn that?
Smoke loves gambling.
I'm sure you can gamble with other people's lives.
Gambling is bad. Have we not learned?
All the feats.
That's right.
It was only thanks to Trillin's stupid luck. And thank
No,
God it wasn't
roll.
Dimitri.
Glorious!
The last roll.
Thank God it wasn't Dimitri.
So do we want someone else to check the door to see if there's a change?
Well, if Trillin's next to you, do you want to check the door?
Yeah, I'll check the door.
Okay. Give me an investigate roll.
Um, 18.
Checking out the door, you believe the door to be locked.
Okay. Do you want to give it another try?
Did he hear anything?
Didn't hear anything at all, but he believes it's locked.
It's a wooden door, is it? Or
It is a wooden door.
I can knock it down. But
You have thieves' tools. What did you roll for your check?
18.
You do have thieves' tools, Trellin.
18.
Yeah, no, you checked. You can pick the lock. Or you could kick it. It's up
Oh,
to you.
okay, yes, I can.
We did just
The
need to
20
close the
seconds,
door
so
we were
just
talking about
be
kicking in
should be
before.
fine.
That one
All
was
right.
just in case.
I'll unlock the door.
Okay, give me a thievery tools check.
Is it based on dexterity or?
Yeah.
So plus
I
14.
can't remember if you're actually proficient or not.
Oh, 19. There you go.
Okay, you hear a click.
Looks good.
Yeah.
Okay, Merc, stand behind.
Oh yeah, I move behind the
I'll
tanks.
get off of the ceiling and probably stand in front of Mark.
Thank you.
I'll stand next to Trellin.
Though Merc does have this remembrance of this calamari he had recently.
Delicious.
Ariadne, any chance
Did
you could
not
bring me a
taste
Diet
like
Coke
squid.
when you come?
Yes, I'll deliver this and then I'll cut that.
Thank you very much.
Is that okay?
So it's Trellin,
Thank you.
Hildren. Can we stand side two person?
You can squeeze two people in, yeah.
Well, I'll stand like just behind him, and then Cetus just behind me, and then Merc, and I'm gonna say Calcryx stay at the back to protect the rear. Sound like a plan?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
To the wrong spot. Do you need anything else?
I got
Just
my
gonna go
drink.
to the bathroom.
Okay, so who's opening the door?
Yes.
Okay, so the door creaks open, and inside you can see 5 glowing pools, each about 5 feet in diameter, and in a raised set of stones.
5 of us here, each of us stand in one.
Well,
Stop. Slow.
So I'll look at Merc and say, how about dancing lights? And so we can see the whole room.
So I'll cast dancing lights in a line across the room, depending on its size, just in a clear light so we can see colour and we can see
If I have dark vision on and dancing lights are going, can I see the colour?
So what depends on what colour the dancing lights are.
So I've made them clear so we can see colour.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if I need to deactivate the stag mask or not. I'm trying to remember if I... No, I can switch it on and off at will, so...
You're telling me that his dancing lights aren't just mood lights?
They can be.
They're not gold.
That can be.
They're not gold?
Or red?
Roxanne.
Trying to actually do the map is sometimes hard when the hands don't actually work as well.
It's okay. What colour are the pools glowing?
Various colours, and I seem to be deleting the wrong sections because, hey, it's always great when it doesn't tell me where I actually am.
That's okay. We can refurb it.
Yes.
So yes, clear lights.
Clear lights, yeah. I find that it's working pretty well in the dungeon. I've been trying to think about how I could use it in combat, like if there's someone attacking us, maybe have the lights in all different colours swirling directly in front of their faces to disorientate them.
Yeah.
There's a spell for that, but not a pattern.
I was going to
Yeah.
say, that just sounds like hypnotic pattern.
Well, yeah. So for my next feat at 16, I'll be using my druid feat to. There's a 5-foot radius where there's no sight, so I can just launch from there.
Yep.
I've got a similar thing for my rogue.
Yeah.
Speaking of leveling up,
Yeah.
I'm trying to decide. Not a concept, not something I have to think about for any of my other characters, but I have a choice. I can either go up 1 in Ranger or up 1 in Cleric.
Ah, yeah.
If I go up 1 in Ranger, it gives me access to level 2 spells, including Pass Without Trace. If I go up in Cleric, I'll get more spells. I don't remember. You got Cleric, the book there, Martin?
Give me a sec. Which book?
Just the Adventurer's Guide.
I do, but it's on the floor.
No stress.
It's one of the spinner dice.
So I thought I'd open it up to the party. I'm thinking Ranger, but I'm trying to remember what Cleric gives me.
Take 2 levels in fighter.
Not much. I get to know an extra sign. I don't need to multi-class more.
Yes, you do.
So I get a 4th level spell.
I really don't want to test out that. I was going to make a joke about my next character, but then I remembered the thing that happens when you talk
don't
about
do
your
that.
next character.
Yeah, it's a curse that one player put on all the games somehow, because every time he talked about his character, his current one died.
Whereas if I level up my Ranger, I get a new archetype feature, I get more spells, I get level 2 spells, and I get to add an extra maneuver.
Yeah, I do have an idea of what I want to do for it.
Yeah.
I should see
It's
this
on the
die.
bottom left corner.
So Pass Without Trace is always useful. So it's
And
gives
I
us a
would
plus 10
be
bonus.
getting it at level 16.
Okay, so you can see that
Relevant
there
to
are 5 glowy pools and a door.
So yeah, I think we get extra expertise in the level up version. Anyway.
Nice.
And a door.
5 glowy pools and a door.
Is the water still in the pools, or is it bubbling, or is it
It is still.
still water?
Are they the same, like, are they different, each pool's a different colour, or?
They're all giving off a white glow.
And that's not just because we've got dark vision.
Alright. So let's.
Well, it's generating light, so.
But when there's light present, the colour thing doesn't affect, dark vision doesn't affect colour. Okay.
Let's chock the door open. So
Always chock the door open. Hey, Valen, can you hold this door open? Can Valen do that for us?
He could, but he's not entering the room first.
Oh, I'm happy to enter the room first. I just want somebody to hold the door. And Valen seems available.
Is this a wooden door?
It is a wooden door.
We can break that.
maybe,
Yeah.
maybe.
Dark Fey God room.
I wasn't on the same plane of existence. I couldn't break the door. And also, we didn't try to break the door.
True, we didn't.
We
But
just
the
like,
door
oh, the
just
door.
wasn't there.
Yeah, I was like, good point. The door wasn't there.
Okay.
And since it's very close to that evil room just below it.
Yes, we are. The Dark Fey gambling gods are just over there. Okay. So, I'm going to enter. Is anyone coming with me?
Yes, I will.
Where are we? And
We have a room with 5 glowing pools of water that glowing white.
yep, Calcryx is going.
We're asking Valen to please hold the door open.
Is Phelan allowed to do that, Martin?
He is, but he wasn't going in first.
Oh, no, Valen never goes in first. He leaves that honour to his over-enthusiastic master.
I'm happy to go in.
But yeah, no, Calcryx is happy to... This is somewhere new, and there's coloured things.
We've lost our detect magic beacon.
What's the detect magic beacon?
Dimitri.
Yeah.
I've got detect magic.
As do I.
I was saying in character.
Right.
You know I know Calcryx has.
Calcryx goes, I have detect magic.
Could we see if we can figure out what the pools are? Surely there's some sort of
do you want me
aura
to
of
detect
magic.
if they're magical, or do you want me to identify what kind of magic they've got?
I would like to know what school of magic they are.
I can try to determine that. That's an Arcana roll, isn't it, Martin?
Is everybody in the room?
You can. Better if you use the orb.
Yeah.
Well, I've used the orb then. If the orb is an option, I will use the orb. Sorry, buddy, I forgot. Sorry, I'm not prioritising the cat right now. And
Oh, poor kitty.
Prioritize the cat.
Put the footstool up and give him his blanket because he's waiting patiently for those two things to happen.
Merc, do you have any stories of something about glowing white pools of light? Possibly in relation to the pig?
Does Merc know anything about this?
Merc knows a lot of things.
About this specifically, from his travels or from his expertise in the occult or culture?
Yeah. Magic liquid always does weird crap.
Yeah, that's
Both weird good and weird bad.
Does,
But always weird.
does the eye give me any information at all?
I don't think, considering where we are, it's going to be weird good.
Don't use honey.
Check.
It doesn't work.
So the pool in the very north corner is an illusion.
So Calcryx points to that corner and goes, that one's not real.
And it has a ladder going down.
And it seems to have a ladder leading off somewhere.
We're not going down.
So it's 5 pools. Which pool was it?
The top one.
Top pool.
We're not going down.
So the north
Okay.
one.
Sticking to this level until we've figured it out.
Yep.
Okay, so the pool going clockwise around it from the top comes across as dark magic.
So if I label them 1, 2, which is illusion, 3, 4, 5.
Well,
One is dark magic.
1 is the top, and then 2, if you're going around, is the dark magic.
So 1 is the nearest to the left.
No, 1 is the very top one.
to the nearest to the hallway.
So 2 closest to the door.
The northernmost
And
pole.
then it
Okay.
goes clockwise.
Yep. So 2
So
is
2
dark
is
magic.
furthest
Yeah.
from the door.
So 2 is diagonally down.
I think hard to tell which is furthest based on the top or the
Okay.
thing because it's really weird.
Is 2 the northwest or northeast?
So I put
Yeah.
that one
And
as
point
that's
as
clockwise. That's 2.
Okay, so that's
1, 2, 3,
Dark.
4, 5.
You know
Yes.
that.
I believe
That's
Rhiannon was looking down just as you did that.
yeah. No, I figured it out.
So the second one was dark magic.
This.
So when we talk that magic, we're
I was thinking
talking
about throwing
Queen of
out
Darkness,
necromancy,
entropy.
get information
Not
from
always
necromancy.
guaranteed.
but that kind of that sphere.
That sphere of stuff. Next, pool seems to be about fate.
Fate
Fate magic.
magic. Have I heard something about fate magic?
Not a huge amount, just that's the sort of thing that Calcryx and now Lani are dabbling in.
Yeah, I was going to say. I think
So
I
we've
heard about
got-
this with Lami.
That doesn't make sense because if they're all the different elements, so
They
fade
might
magic
not
would
be-
be water.
Fate magic, yeah, could be blue. Water.
The bottom one, which is 4, is earth magic.
Earth. Oh, which means the illusion might be air.
Yeah.
Might be.
So that would the last one. If that theory is correct, the last one would be fire.
And the last one is diviner.
Diviner.
Diviner magic.
I feel like I've missed one. I've got the black one, I've got the fate one, I've got the earth one.
Illusion.
Oh, and yeah, the illusion one.
So the first one was illusion.
What does divining magic? Does that come under fire? No, that's water.
Diviner can come under multiple things.
Okay.
But I have a feeling that these are all related to the elements in some manner.
It would make sense. Okay, just repeating, we are not going down.
Sure.
Can I get out some normal chalk and mark the illusion pool?
You can.
Not my explorer's chalk, just my
and you
normal
realise that the mark you left isn't there.
Because it's inside the illusion.
Mm.
I meant like on the edge.
Yep.
It's not.
You mark the stone, and it's not leaving a mark on the stone.
Is it
Where
red?
does where does
Calcryx can
the
see the
floor
mark.
stop?
Sorry?
I left
Where
a
does
mark.
the illusion stop?
I left a mark and it's not there.
I'll get the chalk and just go back a number of inches. Can you see it?
Nope.
Calcryx can.
Go back another couple of inches. Can you see that?
Nope.
Go back another couple of inches. That one?
Okay, there's something hinky with the floor.
Yeah,
Can
something
we-
kinky going on here. She rubs out all the chalk marks.
Can we see Calcryx's hand in the chalk whilst they're drawing?
Hmm. You can see the chalk and you can hear the chalk, but you don't see the chalk. You don't see the chalk markings.
Well, as
I
long
mean,
as we remember that it's the top one that's the illusion.
I have
don't-
good memory and map making. We're good.
As to what
I can't see.
So, would Detect Magic tell me anything more, or an Arcana? Or would I use one of my elemental...
You're sure that the illusion is over the entire room,
Right.
not just the pool.
So... I've
Which
done-
means it may also be affecting how you perceive things.
I've done Dispel Magic before, but that could make things worse.
So if you can currently see through illusions, and the only illusion you're seeing, other than the fact that the floor won't be marked, is the pool.
Well, she can see the marks on the floor.
Yes. We can't see the floor that is marked. Is
The
the
whole
pool.
room is affected by illusion magic.
When Calcryx isn't looking through the eye and sees the room without the true sight, does it look the same as when you look through the eye?
No. Everything looks pristine without the eye.
Okay, so the room looks, with the eye, the room looks a bit worn down and
Can I just do kind of like a, I don't know, would it be perception or insight? Based on my encounters with this kind of stuff before with the Friday group.
You could make a perception roll.
Perception? What did I do with my... I know I heard it before when I was making sure Mr. Priority had priority.
has Merc noticed the other door, and is Merc interested in the other door?
There it is.
I
Oh,
was just
thank
thinking
goodness.
about investigating the other door.
I'm getting to know you too well.
Oh, that's not too bad. Perception check, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Eve's with me. Default.
Is what's his face still whispering lullabies in my ear?
He is. Hasn't given up.
Plus,
He's very determined, apparently.
He's scared.
so,
Yeah, he just wants to convert a Zerchev follower who's currently wielding one of Zerchev's blades.
yes, I do. So that's 32. I think I've added up right. 16 plus 11 plus 1 plus 4.
I got 32.
I lost track of it after the third number.
32.
Okay, and what was Merc's perception as he was listening at going to the door, investigating it? Okay, so as you're having a look around and looking at stuff, you think that the much like they had described earlier, that the pools each have some sort of effect based on the associated magic, and you sort of start hearing a buzzing in the background as a whole bunch of cat-sized insects fly out of the wall next to Merc and attack him.
Merc, why did you go next to the door?
Why do you touch things? Touching things.
There might be gold behind
So
it.
would a 22 hit Merc?
Touching things.
I actually don't
Yes.
know. Yeah, I think it would.
17 is your
or
AC.
above. Yep.
Okay, so you take a point of damage as one of them latches on.
Okay.
Oh no.
Are they Sturges?
A second one latches on. And a third one latches on. So that's 3 damage in total as you have beaks the size of your fingers embedded in you.
Are they Sturges?
Yes.
I quickly move away.
Well, they're attached to you.
Oh yeah, but move away from the rest
Rest
of them coming out of the wall.
Everyone else can roll initiative.
Initiative.
Do I trust the dice that
That's
rolled well
based on
last
perception
time,
again,
or
isn't
do I try different dice?
24.
Wrong side.
24.
The Cetus.
I'm just checking because I believe I might
32?
have something
Yes.
to do with this. If not, I
Adding
have a
up is requiring me to
17.
count my fingers though.
Would Merc get?
I'm just having a complete mental blank.
Use
You got numbers.
generally your perception skill.
11, perception 4.
Well, you are feeling a little more holy than usual.
I initially rolled my
15
D4 on my
wisdom?
D8
Yeah.
and I got like a 6. I'm like, 6! I'm like, oh wait a minute, it's a D4.
Did you count?
20.
20.
That's like rolling a 20 on a D12, right?
And Cetus. Well, it's not like when we had a few people going, I'm rolling and look, I got maximum number, a 12 on my D20.
Yeah. Someone was doing that. Did it 3 times in a row.
Or even worse, it's like,
24.
why does this dice have,
We have 3
four
people
four
on
20s on
24.
it?
3 people in a row on 24.
Yep.
24 is the number of the night.
Calcryx at 32, Hildren, Trellin, and Cetus at 24, Merc
Well,
at 20.
I'm happy to make way because my name's Tyrellin.
Okay.
What's your dex?
You're happy to
6.
make way to
7.
Okay, so
Good deck stat. I'm kidding, it's 5. Alright,
the
mate.
Sturges go first, and
I wrote up your character
The
sheet.
Sturges go.
It's 5.
It's
Does
in my
anyone know
phone.
what Sturges are, by the way?
Okay.
Yes, we blew some of them up
They're
last
like
time.
giant cat-sized mosquitoes.
Okay, alright. And did we have an effective attack against them?
Fire.
so
Genrick.
Yes. But it was in a cave filled with like
Which we exploded
Excrement.
by accident.
Merc takes, I'm doing numbers again, I just had it done, so it takes 13 damage.
So the Sturges are going first.
I said the Sturges were going first.
Sorry.
Is that because they have a surprise round?
They
No,
did.
that was the
They actually rolled a 20 on their
I
initiative.
can't be surprised.
How much
But you
damage
weren't the
did
one
you
attacked.
So
Yeah.
far 16 altogether.
You turned around and was like, ah. And not all of them could come out. Okay, and you see another 5 of them fly into the room. One aims for Trellin.
So is that 8 in total?
Yes, and would a 22 hit Trellin?
No.
You managed to dodge
Cloak
out
of
of the way.
displacement.
Well,
Nice.
I need
cloak
to
of
steal that.
displacement doesn't increase your armor class. It just means that there's a
Oh,
15%
there's a lot.
There's
chance.
a disadvantage.
I need to steal that.
Well, it was definitely a disadvantage.
Well, but it was 23 anyway, so.
I need to steal the cloak of
Okay.
displacement for Dimitri.
Then one flies
Okay,
at
listen.
Cetus and hits an armor class of 21.
I think that is my armor class.
Then it's a hit.
Looks like I can only do that if I already have the tail out.
Then one flies at Hilderin. Hits a 22.
That is my armor class.
Then it embeds in you as well.
Are we taking any damage or just
1
embedding
point of
us?
damage every time it embeds in. And then one flies at Calcryx.
I think I got a 27.
And apparently Eve eats it. Didn't quite see where it was landing. You rolled a natural one.
Okay.
Oh, well. It sucks to be it.
Though
I have
considering
something as well.
Eve actually takes powers off everything it eats, I'm not sure everyone wants Eve to be able to drain blood from people.
No.
Okay.
The only PC who likes Ape other than Calcryx at the moment is Morrigan.
Which brings us to Calcryx, who got the highest initiative.
It looked hungrily at Seiko.
But I don't think I do.
Currently there's only one not attached to someone.
Oh, okay. You see, I was gonna do Wall of Force to stop them from getting into things, but that's kind of mute now. I was gonna do Resilience Sphere to protect Merc, but now they're in everybody.
They're stuck in us.
If I do something like Destructive Wave, I can attack several targets at once, but you guys will all get blasted to hell at the
I'll
same
hit everyone at the
time.
same time, and it's like, you did more damage than the insects.
That was me in the
brazier
rooms.
Yeah, so
Had my party
not
do
quite.
that.
Is there a way to draw them out of people? And
Yes, you can just grab and pull. I'm sure that won't do anything too bad.
is that going to damage people? If you
Probably.
Yeah.
So that you guys don't want these things stuck in you, I presume.
We have other options.
I can eat them.
You can eat them.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm happy to delay.
Oh, hang on.
Move if there's somebody who.
No, that's not worth it.
But I'm not entirely sure of what would be the best attack without hurting.
Remember, you don't know the party that much, so that's part of the reason why I'm not saying, oh, you should do this, because Calcryx doesn't know us and know our...
I have actually. Is that a one-person one?
Okay, so a group of Sturges is known as the Plague.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Will that affect more than one person?
Are there people standing within 10 feet of me, out of curiosity?
Judging by the size of the room, probably.
Yeah.
It gives me a couple of options. But I don't think I need to waste a spell slot.
Well, the best.
Well-
See, none of the things I've got can.
If I use advantage to mush the ones that are on you,
Punch them in harder.
So, who's the squishiest then?
Merc.
Okay, I'll cast Resilient Sphere on Merc at least.
You do know that it'll trap the things inside with him.
Will it? Okay, so I won't do that
So,
then.
Bimp! And then you got the monk going ding, ding, ding.
so
So what about if we just pull out some swords?
I was gonna say,
That's
if
my
I
plan.
pull them out of people.
You can do that, but you'd be doing one per attack.
So I'd be doing what?
1 per attack.
Right, and how many things could I pull out? Like, Merc's got 2 in him, I think.
He's got 3 in him.
3 in him.
They're really stuck on him.
Just for fun.
Okay.
Just for fun.
If I roll well,
Yeah,
can
so
pull
I'm
3
thinking I'll at least try and protect or relieve some of the damage being done to him. So
Okay.
how many actions will that be? That like to pull them out physically?
Well, you can make 2 attacks on your turn.
2 attacks, right? So I can pull at least 2 out,
Mhm.
and that might mean that he only has to deal with 1.
But
Mhm.
don't they have?
yes.
Hey, look at it this way. I could hit
Mosquitoes.
something into your bone, and it could merge with your bone, and she can still pull it out.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mine
well
will
that's
come
what
with
Dragon.
So
Trust me.
Nature
Calcryx
roll
is
if you
okay.
want to think of a better way
can
to do
I
it.
do a
Way
nature
overpowered.
roll to
You
see if
can.
I can think of the best way to deal with this?
You can.
Okay, so that's what I was trying to figure out. What, how? Oh, well, that's not bad. That's gonna be nature. Oh, well, that's not bad at all. It's 26. I'm not proficient. So 26.
26. Okay, well, you do know that most of these things are fairly easy to kill, and they generally leave after they've drained a certain amount of life force from people.
Right.
Trust me, can have a long life.
So, do I determine a spell or just pulling them out and crushing them would be...
Well, literally, you can just go squish, squish, squish.
Okay, well, I will squish, squish, squish.
Okay, so give me attack roll.
So that's just a straight d20?
Mm-hmm.
Can I use my fortunate... Oh, I can determine that after I do my roll.
Yep.
I'd like to use my fortunate feat. Well, I don't know. I got a 12.
Mm-hmm.
What do I add that to?
Plus
normally?
strength, probably. And proficiency.
Because I can use my...
In fact, if you count it as a claws attack with, she has mastery
I
in
do have
natural
lethal
weapons.
claws.
I was just trying to look something up while you're doing things. Lethal claws just mean that you can do more damage. They're not a separate thing. Your claws are always lethal.
What if I did a bite attack?
You can
It's
only do 1, whereas you can do 2 with your claws.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the same as me.
So if you attack twice with your claws on the sturges,
Yeah, I'm just trying to work out if I should use fortunate.
you probably don't need to.
Technically,
Okay.
she can do a bite and a claw, and as a bonus action, do a claw.
Yes, true.
Okay, well I'd
But-
like to do...
I would have said that your bonus action this round was identifying them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, so if a...
But there's not much difference between 2 claws versus a bite and a
so
claw.
No, there
12
isn't.
plus, it would...
Because you can't roll damage low enough to not kill them.
it's not a save, so it would... if it's a strength thing,
You would
Then
add your strength bonus
would
to your
only
dice.
Plus proficiency.
15...
Your
If
strength
it's
is higher than.
proficiency, then it
Your
would
strength is
be
higher than
21.
3, isn't it?
Oh, no, plus proficiency, that's plus 7, so it's 21.
Hmm. Which is a pretty hefty attack.
Okay, well if that's enough, then I won't use fortunate.
Okay,
Kill.
so yes, the first one explodes in your claws. Blood everywhere.
Sorry, Merc, you'll have to do prestidigitation. So
All good.
roll for the second attack.
Yep.
Okay. 17 plus. We said 7. Yeah, it is 7.
Plus 11.
What's your strength?
So my strength is 3 and my proficiency is 4. So that's plus
Plus
7.
7, yes.
So yeah. So brain.
The 17 plus 7 is
28.
28.
Oh, wow.
What?
Sorry,
No,
24. Okay, she said 11 last time, and my brain keeps digging for 11. So
Yeah, no, my brain's just
24.
dying.
I could have sworn your strength was more than that, but it must be.
No, my strength
She's not
is
strength focused.
3,
It's
but my
con, isn't it?
proficiency is 4. Yes.
Okay.
My save is 7, but this is
Yeah.
not a save.
Okay, so yes, the second one goes pop as well.
Yeah, that
You
would
got
be.
2 in you?
We got one left in
He's
you.
got 1 left.
One left.
Yeah.
Okay, so
But
that
because he's super squishy, I decided to help.
Considering he's taken 16 damage already.
makes it Trellan's turn.
Really?
Unless he was holding, but he was the first one to get who put up his thing.
Alright.
Yeah, we're all on 24, and he and I.
I just went with
both
if it's the same person, whoever speaks up first.
Okay. So I'll use my dual wielder feat and knock it off. So
So you'll get one of those, yes.
yeah.
You're not getting off Merc, or you?
No, yeah.
He doesn't have any.
Oh, he
on
doesn't
him.
have any.
Well, I've got 2 other feats. So I've got 55 feet to move around.
Then you can do that between punches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm using the Moonblade to knock off that one.
Okay, you've sliced it off.
Okay. And is there any other?
There
ones?
is one in Cetus and one in Hildra.
Okay, I can
And one
hit
left
both of them.
standing.
Give me a roll.
31
That gets cut in half.
and 24.
That also gets cut
I
in
would say
half.
with a 31, it's better than Calcryx's. It just like splatters everywhere.
Maybe.
Well, now Cetus, Merc, and Hilderan are covered in their own blood.
It's okay.
All right.
Which
so
they-
Yes, of us.
My turn.
But I want to turn.
My turn. I have a higher dex than you.
Well, you were also that spoke up earlier. I generally do it based on who speaks up if it's the same number.
I feel that you are feeling a little bit repressed right now. I can.
So yes,
empathise.
there's one
So there's
floating
two
around.
left.
My comeback.
Yeah.
No, there's technically only one flying around.
Was
The
it?
other one can't be seen.
I want to eat it.
Okay, can't be seen.
Hmm.
Okay.
So it's in the illusion somewhere.
That's what I would suspect.
So I know 8 came in,
Mhm.
and I know there should be 2 left.
And Calcryx's I can probably see them.
But it's my turn.
Mm.
Okay, Oh, it seems like a waste. No, let's do it. I can't hold a bonus action, can I?
No.
No.
Well, technically you can, but you have to use your action to hold it.
I don't want to waste the action.
Mm.
Do you have
You know what?
healing abilities?
I do.
I
I do
will.
somewhere.
I will let you do your thing. I am going to healing word at Merc
Mhm.
with as a bonus action.
And you watch the wound seal around the head stuck into him.
What?
Does he still get healing?
Still gets healing. It's now healed as if it's
I'll cut them out later.
Yeah, yeah, it'll come out.
Might have to
That's
banish it.
8 plus 8, so 16 hit points.
yeah.
Oh, it's back to full.
I'll cut them out later. Then I'm going to hold my action, scimitar attack.
You can't. You've basically got to give up your entire round to do stuff. For when
You
you
can't do an action.
if you
I'm
if
talking
you're
about a
using
trigger attack.
a trigger attack, yes, is basically you give up your round for a trigger,
Well, she only did a bonus action.
but it's still an action she's used on the round.
Okay.
So if you're going to hold to do something, that is
Right.
your only action on your round.
Gotcha.
Didn't
You
know
give
that.
up. You give up everything else.
Okay.
Sorry, didn't know that. Then I may as well attack the one I can see with my scimitar. using Scimitar of the Seasons. 19, which
Is it?
is a crit
And
with
it pops
range
with
mastery.
no blood.
Nice.
Well, it hasn't had a bite yet.
Yeah, that's right. Because I think it's the
And by
one-
the time it's Titus's turn, you're out of combat.
Really? There's one
Yes.
that isn't.
I know.
Can I see in my orb, if I pull it back out, where the other two disappeared to?
Well, you know,
There's only
Eve
one
ate
left.
one.
Oh, so Eve ate one, yep. And there's one left.
Hang on, no, one.
Is it in the
two,
room somehow
three.
concealed? I presume
no.
since initiative's ended, but Calcryx doesn't know initiative has ended.
You can't figure out what happened to the 8th one.
Maybe it went into one of the pools. Is Merc still embedded with a vampire thing?
Well, he's still got 3 Sturge heads stuck in him. And they're nicely healed up now with scarring all around it.
So
And Hilderin and Caesar
Scars.
both have heads sticking out of them.
does
They
Vanish?
Can I pull the head sticking out of me?
You can.
They dig scars.
Yeah, they do.
Takes another point of damage coming out.
okay, so it won't damage like huge amounts to just pull out.
Well, if you heal it over, then it's sort of stuck to the head.
Right. So
I'm just automatically, if the Merc gets damaged, healing word.
yes, but now he's got these stuck in him, and we want to get them out. I presume.
It's even worse when you break a bone and then you heal it automatically while it's broken, and it heals that way.
Does anyone have good medicine check?
I don't. The only thing I've really got that might work here is banishment,
I really should learn.
and I don't know if that would work.
You could send Merc to a timeout place.
No,
I really should put some downtime into medicine.
I can give him a safety bubble for it for like a minute.
I will try
The Sphere of
to.
Resilience.
yeah, that's what I.
The timeout bubble.
I will try.
It's just a bubble. One of my techniques.
I ask Merc for his dagger,
Mm-hmm.
and I will try to
Yeah.
cut out a Sturge head.
Yeah, alright. Merc says, yeah, let's cut these out.
Okay. You're just rolling damage at this
I
stage.
forgot. I have a +1 to all of these. Bloody hell.
Oh yeah, medicine check, and then then it'll be a D4 damage.
15 plus 2 for. Can I use wisdom for medicine?
Sure.
So that's a 22.
You think you know how to cut them out without killing him?
Positive. That's
But,
positive.
but he was bumped up to top,
Yeah.
so no worries.
Yeah.
So I then
Roll 3D4.
cut out all 3 heads.
Yeah.
So who rolled low this time? Who rolled badly when I did a roll earlier? Oh god. I'm sorry.
This is sounding positive.
11 hit points.
So then, healing word.
And he would already hears the words in her ear going, "Sacrifice accepted."
So how is that a sacrifice?
Blood, I suppose.
Well, I think because
Did I say the bad words again?
You have no idea.
I can't remember if I said the bad words again.
I don't think you said
Not the
bad
O
words.
word, the other ones that I've been training out of me.
What are the other words?
Oh god damn it.
Oh, right. Okay.
So
I mean, I can healing word you again.
Well, I'll throw up a cure wounds because I'm assuming that it's left an open wound. Yeah.
And it has a funky looking scar now that you healed it.
Yeah.
I
Cheek
can-
scars, right?
That's 100%.
I can seed bomb you again, and that gives you 46 of healing
He is
damage.
mostly healed, I believe.
What
Yeah.
was your cure? What did your cure give you?
I cured him 16 before, so he was full health before I cut the pieces out.
Yeah,
But he did cast
seed
the cure
bomb
on
heals
himself.
everybody
Yeah.
who got damaged.
Which one's that one? question.
Yes, but 2 of them only have 2 hit points.
6,
And only Cetus pulls out his.
Okay, alright.
6, 12, 15, so I heal myself back.
So one point at every pulling it out.
It's probably more if you can just do it one-handed.
Yeah. So we've only taken 2 points of damage. We're good.
You need to take more than that. I can't get health back from eating things unless I'm half health.
Alright, so yeah,
You want to
otherwise
get
your
health
rage
back from...
dissipates.
One of my rage transformations I can heal from, like, biting people.
Oh, okay.
In the
Okay.
just rip a chunk of flesh out and start eating it type thing.
So with the
Right.
orb, can we see where the sturges came from?
Well, you can actually see it without the orb because there were holes in the wall next to where Merc was looking. But he was more concentrating on the door, and then these things just started coming out of the wall next to him.
Do we have anything-
Investigation check on the door.
You're a little distracted by something sucking on you. Not in a pleasant way
You rolled
either.
a 28.
He's used to that.
Does somebody want to
Yeah,
like
distracted.
block the holes?
Are you looking at me?
Wrong character. That's right.
I can do it.
I can hit the wall and possibly cave it in, but we probably don't
Don't want
want
to do that. I'm sure I have like cloth or something in my backpack. Can I like wad up some cloth and put it in the holes?
You can.
Can we just put torches in the holes? I'm sure they don't like fire.
I was gonna say, yeah. You
I
could
get a
do
very
it.
strange feeling that these things do not like fire.
Cool. Shall we try the door again?
Let's try the door again.
Okay, let's test this theory.
Also, are we ignoring the pools?
Currently,
For
yes.
now,
I want to check out the fate one.
Yeah, Merc does.
I mean, I
have-
can't stop you.
Calcryx is interested in the fate one as well.
Merc's more interested in the dark one.
She's interested in all of
Anything
them,
in a
really.
bowl. Get someone water to sell.
That is very Merc. Hildren is going to trust that her party isn't being stupid and listen at the door.
I'm always being stupid. I want to stick my head in the fate one.
Okay.
You want to or you do?
I do.
Because if Calcryx sees you going, just in it, Calcryx is literally going to kind of just pick you up and go, do you want to stick your head in?
You can't quite lift him anymore.
I'm
Well,
8 feet tall.
You know, I kind of...
You can grab onto.
I kind of
Cetus.
grab onto him and kind of just like, maybe not your head. Maybe just like a finger or a hand. I think if you put your
Well,
head in, you might lose
Because
it.
he's a fish swimmer, so
Yes, but this
this is
isn't
his natural environment.
water necessarily. It could be a dimension door into the Big O's palace.
Well, I would like to see if it is that. If I stick my hand in, I'm just going to lose my hand. I need this. This is important.
Well, I have an eye that could be sent down there instead and tell us what's there. And if it is water, then you could dive in and explore. But if it's the Big O's Palace of Inequity, well, then maybe we want to avoid that.
Again.
You might be a
still
willing
feel-
sacrifice.
This stuff, you're not making a good argument. These are all things that I'm like, I could just stick
Can
my
I
head in and see.
Make my roll perception.
You can.
I've only just met you, but I would like you to live.
If he does die, though.
I have died already.
But we
It's
don't
not as
wanna-
cracked up as it seems to be.
You
Calamari.
You heard what Hildren said. We don't want to die here in this particular place because then the Big O owns your soul, and I'm pretty sure you don't want to give it to him.
Lorelei would be upset.
You'd have to fight Lorelei for it.
Yeah, I don't know whether or not that's something that Big O.
It'd be a
Can
good way
do.
to pull him out. It'd be a good way to draw him out.
Look, this is.
Does my passive perception pick up this conversation?
Yes.
Cetus, no!
I do it.
You try to stick your head in there?
Yep.
Okay, so that's a contested athletics check versus the dragon.
Oh, versus me.
Because you're currently holding Cetus.
Yeah,
use my
well,
totemic
I'm trying
growth.
to-
You use a growth to reach him.
I'm gonna be okay. I should. Well, I don't know if I'll be okay. So it's what?
I probably don't
check?
need to do the Titanic growth. Probably win this.
Well, if you're doing a dragon, she might feel compelled to compete.
And that's a low roll.
So athletics, right? So athletics is
Titanic growth. It is.
strength.
I have advantage on strength checks.
So 3 plus 4.
That's slightly better.
7. So it's only 26.
I got 19.
What does that mean?
You rolled higher than me, I think.
Even with your like bits.
Yep. I rolled a 9 with a 10.
Oh, okay. Well,
Only 10 to it.
yeah.
So yes, you move Cletus away from the pool.
19 plus.
Well, Cetus this time,
Even
not
with
Cletus.
expertise dice is 21.
Yeah. So expertise dice means. I don't think.
No, you still beat him.
No. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Which
go.
I'm surprised at because my strength is only 3.
I go. Thank you, Calcryx.
Look, it's not that he can't put his head into the pool. I just don't want to him to put his head into the pool yet. I want to kind of figure out, is this a dimension to another plane?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, but I'd like to figure out without you going through it first.
Well, your detection magic didn't.
What do I notice at the door?
I've
Lots
done
of
detect
buzzing.
magic on it. Yeah, I've just done the true scene.
And the cloth
Somebody
you
did,
put
that's how you got
into the hole
illusion.
seems to be
Yeah, no,
moving
that was
slightly.
just the true scene eye, which you can see.
Like something
through
trying to push it out.
illusions.
Well, it didn't.
My next one was detect
Is there
magic.
like loose
And that's
stones
what I'm
around
about
the
to
There's
floor?
more
Is it
sturges in
jammed?
there and they're trying to
Well,
get
then you can
out.
see, you can't even see loose stones at all on the floor. It's perfect. Like the day it was made.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think I'll
So we
do
can
detect
light the-
magic.
Torches?
We could light the fabric.
Yeah. What? How long do you think it'll last though before it burns out, so the ones behind can come through?
How long are we going to be here?
So,
Well, it depends if someone puts their head in the pool.
I'm trying to
I'm
do,
in this form for a minute. I can do this 9 more times.
I'm trying to do detect magic before he does that, but I'm just looking up.
You turned into a swarm, did you?
I don't know.
So you want to go into all the pools
So-
at once?
How many characters have you lost?
Technically none.
He
What?
gave up one.
Oh, okay.
One of them left.
He's still alive
Okay.
somewhere.
Until Cetus finds him.
As far as I know, he's just currently convincing the Cholson elves to go through the portal to come here before your people get here.
Well, we told you that he's having a tantrum and he'll be back.
And as the player, I'm saying he's probably trying to convince the Cholson elves to come.
I mentioned to the two who aren't paying attention, there's more sturges in there and they're trying to get out of the room. I don't think we should open the door. And we need to do something to block these holes better.
I forgot, I've got a mace of healing. Does that mean I hit people with that?
If I remember correctly, yes.
Yes, you can hit people with a mace of healing.
Oh, I so want to hit you when...
Doesn't
when you
necessarily
go through
heal
this
them, but you can
dimension.
still hit them with the mace of healing.
So it's technically you can hit anyone with anything.
Well, we do have a necromantic book that when a player hits them with the book, they can use it as a healing focus.
Perfect.
I couldn't, druid craft vines to block the holes.
You could, but they won't be strong enough to stop anything.
Mm.
Yes, I make spindly little things covering it. It looks pretty.
I thought I'd ask. I thought it was worth an ask.
But normally you also need to be able to see plant life to do it from.
Mm.
Do I have anything?
I was reading my maneuvers and immediately went, should I gut strike a dragon? Probably not.
Once, maybe twice if you're lucky.
I can tell you right now, Calcryx is strong enough to take out the entire party.
Ow.
Not unhurt, but the entire party.
I'll stick my head in the water again.
I'm trying to do the detect magic thing.
So, Calcryx is busy casting spells.
But I won't do the detect magic thing until Ildren comes over and takes care of Cetus.
Great, so Cetus then has to make another athletics check, opposed by Calcryx.
Trellin, do you want to take over so she can investigate?
Yes.
15.
Because, you have better strength than I do?
Well,
Okay, the higher roll was
I
a
don't
26.
know that I've got better strength.
You have better
But
strength
anyway,
than I do.
Yeah, okay.
I'm at a point where I'm thinking of asking Eat to just hold you.
What did you get?
15 plus. I think
So I'm
it's too low.
dragging you.
Plus
I
7
think
on a
it's
15.
21.
That's, okay, so yes, Cetus breaks away and falls face first in the pool.
Yay.
Splash.
Splash, splash.
Your head's now in the pool.
Calcryx looks up
Yes!
towards the ceiling and
Do I
goes,
see anything
I
other than
changed
water?
parties to get into a more or less chaotic setting. And, yeah.
Your head is glowing faintly.
I really shouldn't.
Well,
Did you... Okay.
get your
At the
get
very
your
least,
head out.
did you see something?
Did
My
you
head is
ask-
now glowing.
Isn't his head in the...
Did you
Yes.
drink any of the water?
That's what I'm thinking, but that's probably not the best idea.
Probably not, probably not. Generally, glowing liquid is not something to drink.
Is it?
So it's generally something you don't drink.
Calcryx would drink glowing water.
But hey, dragons aren't likely to be taken out by most things. High cons always help.
Look, it's glowy and it's shiny and she's a dragon.
So, Cetus, do you drink before being pulled out?
Oh, look, no, I'm not saving his ass now. He did this to himself.
I'm sitting there going, we got rid of Dimitri, and now we've got...
It's okay, he can't hear you, his head's on the wall.
And I know I'm sort of got you in a bear hug, but
You can try to.
well, yeah, I'm 6'6" and you're 8 foot, and
Not currently.
you got strong. You're stronger than me, but whatever.
Does Calcryx have to go up to large?
Well, if you were large, you could easily pick him up.
But I am also large.
Calcryx can go up to Gargantuan if you like.
Yeah.
And then everyone's going,
It would stop the Sturgis.
If it's a competition of size, I'm fairly sure we know who's going to win.
I'm aware of that.
What
But no, she
What,
tried to save you. You've done it now.
gargantuan size is there?
Well,
So large is a 2x2. I think Gargantuan
So the
is
pools
4x4.
are all down as large size. Huge is 3x3.
So Calcryx can go 4x4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just quite large.
very useful in outside battles.
Mm.
and the biggest scale is Titanic, which can be size of a city or more.
She's now at a point in her life where she's done saving people from doing stupid things to themselves. So
she's had a long
she
12
tried. She tried. Now
She was kidnapped by goblins for part of it.
she's gonna do detect magic on her own.
Well, you were pretty much doing that with your orb. True seeing will see magic.
Yeah, but I'm
doesn't
trying
give
to
us
find
any
out
more
more
information.
about
It gives
what
you
these
more
rules are.
information than detect magic gives you.
Oh, okay. I would like to try and find out more information without.
You'd have to
Diving
roll
into-
higher than your previous Arcana check.
Well, I'll do another Arcana check then.
It's
now
just
that
water.
I've had time to go up and
Glowing
inspect
water.
It's emanating magic.
the pools.
Yes. And I didn't drink it.
Could I do a religion check based on my knowledge of my religion and
You could.
that pig's place in my religion and see if the idea of pools of the elements of pools with of the 5 elements have something to do with it?
You
Wouldn't
can.
count as fiend, would it?
Wouldn't count as fiend, no.
Damn it.
I'm sure you can ask him directly soon. Because that's 2.
To what?
Oh, that's right. That counts too. Damn it.
We were
No,
at,
that was
3.
player! That was player!
we were at 2 at the start.
No, not the O word, the D word. Yeah, no, I know nothing.
How does the D work?
6 plus 11, so 17.
Nothing rings a bell. Though you are hearing this ringing bell in your ear at the moment. Apparently it's going to that tune he was humming in your ear.
Can I attempt to call on the spirits in the area with minor ethromancy?
You can.
To give me information about the room.
You can. I will make it a persuasion check.
Persuasion check.
Nice.
See how I go. Plus 1d6. That one. 16, 20 plus charisma 27.
Okay, so as you reach out, you feel a presence connecting with you. Which starts off with, "Hey, minion."
I was gonna say it's probably gonna be the big eye.
22?
I did
27.
a second Arcana check whenever you're ready.
Can I ask this presence if it can give me information about the room we're in, and specifically the pools and the water within the pools, what it does?
He says, "Drink it and find out." I know you want to drink it.
I kind of do. I cut the bond we have, which I'll try to at least.
And he says, "Good try."
I say I'll talk to you later.
Always listening.
That's it. I take my small flask and take a quart of the dark magic water without touching the water.
Okay, so as you walk up to the pool, you turn around and run for the door.
Okay.
And people see you just run out the hallway.
Mark! What's... Mark! You don't go off on your own! You've learnt this! Do I need leads on these people?
Do you want me to
Yes,
lead
you do.
him? I can do it right now. Can I vine grasp him as he's trying to run out?
Grab him, please!
Okay, how fast does Merc move?
I think standard human speed, which is, I don't know.
30, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
30?
And you have the dash option as a bonus action.
No.
No, but
Okay.
the bonus action is another 30.
So he can go 60 feet per turn.
Well, it's generally to be able to move as a bonus action is to have the dash.
Oh,
ability.
yeah.
Yeah,
that's
it's
right.
a monk,
Otherwise,
it's
yeah,
a monk or
otherwise
a rogue
Yeah,
sense.
that's right.
It's an action,
Yeah.
not a bonus action.
So, yeah.
So that was why I was asking,
Great.
because that means you could only move twice, whereas you can move
Yes.
3 times.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, how fast can he just move?
So you just can move, I think, 40. It's at least 40.
Okay. People watch this blue-headed, glowing Caesar run out down the hallway and catch Merc, who's desperately trying to get away, and struggling to get away.
Are we doing an opposed athletics? Like he...
If I use vine grasp, he needs to make a strength saving throw.
At best, I guess you're making a strength saving throw.
Sorry,
then.
a dex saving throw.
I don't think I have any chance.
Well, I guess it's a
My
dex
dex
one
is-
instead.
3, 6.
I believe you've caught him.
I believe so.
Yeah.
And for quite a few rounds, you are in this desperate need to get away before you come back to your senses.
Got a bit of fear about me. Okay.
You were getting pulled towards being at 5 feet a turn.
Sounds good.
Okay,
So,
And what was your arcana?
I was also going to ask, at what point can I cast guidance on myself? And what does that mean when it says adds an expertise dice?
So you add a
you
d4
want just
to
straight
your
full
check.
That's all right.
It's not 5 feet a turn. You were just.
You could have done it
within 5 feet
beforehand
of
to
me.
make it longer to cast, but so add a d4 to your check.
Okay.
It's not 5 feet a turn. He just automatically
Nice.
moves within 5 feet of me.
That would make
So.
it
I'm just gonna pick him up. Again.
29.
feet running.
Okay, so
Pick him up and just walk onto the roof.
from what you can tell, they are designed to be drunk, or dipped in, as the case may be with Cetus. Because he is showing magic on him.
Was that an Arcana check?
That was an Arcana
And
check.
would I know if it's more effective to drink it versus dipping a hand in?
It all depends on what the magic of the pool is.
Okay, so something like Fate, which was the one that he did.
Mm-hmm.
Can I perceive what the difference is about him?
At this stage, just glowing.
Just
And
glowing?
Doesn't seem to have any effect on him except glow.
At this stage.
Okay. There was a
Yeah, I'm going to be able to see the future.
well, it's fate,
have
not diviner.
Your roll.
Diviner would be the future.
I don't have it left for today. I already used it to
you
save
used it
Merc.
last lesson. You used it
Yeah.
last thingy.
Yes, I used it to save Merc, which
Yes,
I'm
you
currently
did.
doing again.
So it's designed to be drunk or
Or submerged
Just need to
in.
get a punch card.
That's the word.
Yeah.
I start shocking you with my minor aeromancy just to see if that helps.
The temp save is free.
That's the case.
No, the temp save is I stop saving you.
I'll walk over
You get 9 free
to
saves.
the one that I feel most comfortable with outside of air, which would be the dark one, and I'll.
Then you rush out of the room down the hallway, barreling over Cetus, and
So the dark one seems to be fear. I
and for
can't,
the next 3 minutes you're running down the hallway while everyone else is going,
I can't overcome that fear at all. There's no reaction.
I
Is
am
it-
not
I don't expect
wrangling
you
a
to go get
dragon.
that.
Saving
I am not wrangling a dragon.
Well, I
Don't
guess
expect
after
to go
3
get that.
minutes I'll
Trellin,
come
could
back.
you follow her to make sure she's okay?
3 rounds.
Yes.
And Trellin's able to keep up.
I'll come back after 3 rounds and we'll know for certain
3 rounds or
that,
3 minutes?
3
that
rounds.
the effect for each circle pull is the same in the sense of the black one makes you run.
The blue one didn't make you do anything.
The blue one makes you glow.
Yes, we don't know. What
I
the
finally got
is.
my bioluminescence.
Depending on what everyone else is doing over the next 3 minutes, the next one I'll walk up to is the earth one.
It's
I
funny
mean,
because he does have cuttlefish.
I'd look at the air one, but it's an illusion, so I don't think it's actually going to... Actually, if I go over to the air one, and I reach out to touch it, do I actually touch it?
No, it feels like you put your hand in water.
And Calcryx has told you that it's a hole with a ladder.
And it feels like it's at
You will
water.
have to wait 3 minutes for her to come back,
Yep.
and she can...
3 rounds, not minutes.
3 rounds, yeah.
I think in 3 rounds you can make it to the hole. That's in the T intersection though.
Well, she can move 40 feet. So that's in 3 rounds, that is 240 feet.
Yeah, I think that's a bit further than the hole.
Since I'm medium sized, can Trellin
I can
stop
keep
me?
up.
Trellin can keep up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trellin's a bit with you.
Yeah.
But
See,
I
this
don't
is
know
holding
if I
Merc.
can keep up and drag you back.
I don't
Well-
necessarily need to be dragged back, just maybe stop from going
There,
too
there,
far.
there.
Yeah. that works.
After 3
also-
minutes, she's back to normal. Well,
Okay.
three
rounds.
rounds, she's back to normal.
So 18 seconds.
Yeah.
Um,
So, yeah, if you're willing to wait, I guess 18 seconds,
Yes.
I'll come back with Trellin and I can
I
guide
mean,
you to where the ladder is.
in that 18 seconds, I've stopped aeromancy shocking her and gone and put my hand in
Mhm.
because I know it's an illusion. Calcryx told me it's an illusion, but I want to see if I feel, and you say I feel water.
You feel water.
Okay, can I take out one of my vials
You can.
and try and dip it in to try and get some of the water?
You dip it in, it seems to have glowy water sloshing in it, and your hand seems to be glowing.
Is anyone else is Trellin approaching any of the
He's following you.
Well,
once we return?
so Calcryx and Cholin have made it back into the room as you see Hildron with a vial of glowing water from the one marked as illusion.
Is there an actual vial of glowy water? Or
That's
does
what
the
I was
vial
going to
have anything
say.
in
My
it?
next thing was Calcryx.
Well, as you're looking at it with your eyes, yes.
Does this seem to have... If you look through this with your orb, is there water in it?
So is the illusion the hole with the ladder then?
No, because then we'd see the hole with the ladder.
And True Sight doesn't see the illusions.
So if she looks at it through the orb, is the water in the vial?
Just making sure she was doing that first.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, so once you use the orb, the vial's empty.
Yeah. So there's that. Okay.
And is my hand still glowing with the orb or not?
It's not glowing with the orb, no.
And if we approach, say, the Earth one,
Mm-hmm.
what happens?
You're standing adjacent to the Earth one.
Nothing, no fear thing. It's just
I pop.
Okay.
I keep the vial just as a thing.
I will look at one of you three who. Well, you've interacted with the air one, we suspect, and nothing's happened. So let's get the non-squishy person who hasn't touched a pool yet. So see if Trellin wants to just touch
File?
or
The
get a
diviner?
vial and see if he can collect some of the earth pool.
I was
Just
going to
to
say
see
he's
if-
fire aspected, so
yeah.
if he wants to take
Oh,
it.
if you're
So I've
fire
got 3
aspected,
fire.
then the diviner one. But don't drink it, and you might see the future.
Okay.
The main reason I'm asking is that if, say,
But don't drink it. So,
Cletus.
Cetus, sorry, if Cetus has already interacted with the Fate one, we don't necessarily want him cross-contaminating with the diviner one. So it's better that we don't, at
All
this
right.
stage.
I am now curious what happens if we just combine all the water into one.
Well, technically we don't know if I have water or not.
Try drinking
Well-
it.
It felt like water.
I've
Drink
told
it.
you that your vial's empty.
Yes, but it's also like if the magical pools, I'm wondering if seeing the illusion allows me to access the...
The ladder.
Well, no, access the magic of the pool.
Every other illusion in here has been real as long as we believed it was real.
Yeah. But the question is, does that actually, if this has an effect, if I drink it, is it still going to have an effect? It's... The
You
illusion
can
one is
drink
all
from the
trippy.
empty vial if you like.
It's illusions.
The illusion one is all trippy. Like, what I'm wondering is if you've got true sight, you can't access the water because you're seeing through the illusion. But if you see the illusion, like, is it still got... Do you get what I mean?
I get what you mean completely.
Thank you.
If you haven't seen through it yet, you can still interact with it.
To be honest, with our purpose here, is there any reason why we just don't trust everything that's in this room and just move on? It didn't kill us.
no, because
We can just
in
move
that
on.
room south, we had a trauma. And we got sent to the...
You
dark-
didn't. Everybody
Well,
else got
yeah.
put in the dark fey realm.
That's right.
Saviour.
Everyone else got a timeout.
And
that's scary.
yes, and that's why I'm like, is there any reason why we don't just go, well,
But it's possible that we might, like, for puzzles and stuff like that, we might need the water for future.
okay, right.
Is
okay,
what?
so that's
Because
why
part of
we're
me
trying to
originally
determine-
said, well, why are we here?
yes,
Let's just shut the door and walk away.
yes, right.
But another part of me went, well, it's all
could be a
puzzles.
puzzle.
It could be
Right,
a puzzle.
Can I use my flask?
All right.
to
Well,
correct
if Trellin's
fake
willing,
water, please?
then if
Okay.
fire aspected, then maybe the fire one's the best one to
I'll
get a vial for.
dip it in and 3/4 fill it.
The problem is
Yep.
the dark one.
And
Yeah, I don't know. how I'm
maybe
gonna do it.
since
I've got nothing
Cetus
back
has
this
already
first year.
dipped his hand in the water
I
one,
do.
he can get a vial
Well,
of
Merc's
water.
just done that.
Yeah,
Oh.
I've got a vial of the fate water.
Mm.
Okay.
Without touching it, just dipping my flask in, filling it up, closing it off.
And Trellan's got a vial from the diviner pool.
But when you touched it, nothing happened?
No, well, I followed that procedure
Have we got?
of not
Did we-
touching it.
Did we
We
collect any
haven't
of the
got
fair
anything
water?
from the earth
Um,
magic or the dark
no
magic
one's
ones.
been able to collect any of the fear water just yet.
And Merc's, if it's about affinity, Merc is dark.
Well, I'm dark too, so that's why I'm
Maybe one of us who isn't
wondering
dark.
if someone who
Yeah,
isn't
the
dark.
two dark are the
should
ones who got
approach.
scared from it.
Okay, I can try.
I have.
Could
things
somebody
to help
be
not
in a
get
position
scared.
ready to catch?
Yeah, but you
or
guys are
follow.
likely to be able to catch me.
Well, Waylon's made sure the doors stayed open the entire time.
Barely close the door. Hold it.
No!
Do it. Do it
So
now.
if you two get ready to
Well,
catch me,
I'll be there.
if you two get ready
So
to
I'll
catch
be there.
me, I will use my other hand, not the glowy white, not the white glowy one, the other hand to dip a vial in and try to approach the dark aspect of one. And
I'm going to assume it's been longer than a
If-
minute since
If
I
I
talked to my Titanic growth.
remember as
Okay.
well.
So I'm not Titanic anymore.
Sorry, you're not Titanic anymore.
I am not large man.
it only lasts a minute.
What are you now?
Just a normal size.
He's shrunk.
Okay.
I am
so
back to my
just-
normal
can I
size,
take
8 foot
anything
tall
off?
elf.
No, he's still about the same size as you. You can pick
Okay.
up smaller sizes easier.
That's fine. I'm not aiming to. I was just curious, more an amusement factor. What I do remember from the previous puzzles and challenges that I've had to resolve with the elemental group on Friday Party is that this is usually all about balance. And solving these puzzles is about doing everything kind of in a balancing type of, or a balanced manner.
It also might not be a puzzle for this room. It might just be that we need the water in here to do something else.
So while they're collecting vials, I'd like to do an insight based on my experiences with all the elemental puzzles to try and figure out, is this a puzzle
Do
to
you want to get
solve?
Earth?
You know, the purpose of this room, but not by ethermancy or anything, but by I've done a lot of these challenges.
Okay.
What does this look like to me? D20, I presume?
Sure.
So yeah, I'm approaching
Okay, so
the dark
17.
and Merc's approaching the earth.
Mm-hmm.
I'd always pick up the wrong book.
Merc has no problems reaching the earth, and Hildren starts running out.
Yes.
Oh no, you're too far.
What the hell?
He's a tentacle and tripper.
Well, don't. You don't have to do damage.
I don't have to do damage.
You
I can
just
just grab her
catch.
ankle.
So does Trellin, with
Yes.
foreknowledge that I might run, does Trellin catch me?
That's right.
Trellin and Cetus catch you. Or at least you think it's Cetus. He's a bit stuck on you.
Alright. What about
32.
Unseen Servant?
That
32.
could be worth a try.
Uh,
I mean, for the next 18 seconds, I'm trying to get
Insight,
away.
you don't
Yes.
believe that
Player-wise, Unseen Servant
these
might be
represent
worth
the
trying.
5
The
elements.
tentacle only holds you for
Okay.
6 seconds.
They seem to represent different things.
Trellin.
They represent.
Different
What?
things.
Okay. No.
His tentacle only holds me for 6
Anything
seconds.
as
You're
to
still holding me.
Oh yeah, yeah.
what
I am.
investigative
This is why I
drive
went for the
might
trip
take?
and not for a
Or
grab.
is that a separate line of inquiry?
You do realize that it's either you'd either have to submerge something in it fully, or you'd have to drink it to determine the result of these pools.
Okay. Alright. I will go over to.
I have an idea. It might go really badly though.
He has an idea. Let's try his first.
I will first tell everybody what my insight is, which is, as far as I can tell, our first assumption about this, or my first assumption about this being elemental based or an elemental puzzle, it's not. We either have to do what I was trying to convince Cetus not to do initially until we knew more, which is submerge ourselves or drink it. So we just need. I think if we're going to do that, we might need to do that one at a time and be really prepared for the results.
I would. Am I sane again?
Yep.
Okay. I would suggest maybe. I'm torn because the protector part of me wants to take it to see what happens because, taking the blow is what I do. But the healer part of me says, you're the one who has spare the dying and revivify.
The other things that I thought of was we are currently in the Big O's domain. Can we walk these vials out of here? Will they retain their
That's
thing?
what I was thinking.
And if we drink them not in the Big O's domain, would they have a different effect or a more positive effect than they would
I've
here?
got some high level clerics back at the keep, so if we take them and they may... I think, if we can get a vial of each...
So can I cast a ritual?
You sure could.
Could I please cast Unseen Servant?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to cost you 15 hit points.
I know, it'll cost me 15 hit points. To take a vial to the dark pool and get a sample of the liquid.
You're so determined to get some of that dark liquid.
I
I'd
just
like
feel
to
like-
figure it out myself.
I feel like it's going to be very valuable.
Unless
on
you
the
have
black
Mage
market.
Hand. Do you have Mage Hand?
I do.
So before you cast your ritual, I would say to Calcryx, do you have Mage Hand?
Yes, I do.
Could you try and dip a vial in with the Mage Hand?
It might just make me run, so we need to be prepared for that.
Can you make yourself any smaller?
Can,
As a spell, she can, yes.
but it would cost me another spell slot.
Let's not do that then. I also
But-
probably don't want to have enough
I
She
wanna
doesn't
use-
have as
He-
much strength as us.
That is
Because
true,
she's
but
only
And if
plus
both of
3.
you try and
it's
grapple
also a
up,
dragon. She doesn't need the strength to get away from us.
if you both grapple her, that might help.
Yeah.
I'm merely just thinking this is just going to be like trying to hold a scared cat that can breathe.
I
Insert elements here.
look to Eve, and I say to Eve, I am going to try and do a thing. If I try to run out of the room, can you keep me in this spot until I no longer look like I'm afraid? Give me a cuddle.
You hear, Bagom!
Thank you. Alright, I'll do Mage Hand to try and get a vial of the dark liquid and see whether or not that just ends up with me running.
Okay.
Mage
You
hand.
scoop a vial of the liquid out of the pool.
Okay. And then looking at the vial through the orb, is there liquid still in it?
Yes, there's still liquid in it.
Okay. I will safely secure that vial.
Okay.
Do I feel the need to run?
No.
So now that it's in the vial, I'm not trying to run
I'm
away
going to
from the
add
vial.
those to party inventory, by the way.
I'm
Little,
just like,
pour a little bit in there, a little bit in there.
I look at
Lots of fun.
Hildren and I'm like, I am going to test pass the vial to you to see if you run. I'm going to ask Eve to give you a cuddle to stop you from leaving the room. Is that okay?
That is fine.
Okay, I will pass the vial to you to see if you run.
Can I take the vial?
You take the vial.
Excellent.
Okay.
Seems fine.
Okay, alright.
So, yeah.
I'll,
In the party inventory is a vial of each of the water.
yes.
I think we've
Except
gotten...
for the one with the hole.
The air.
Maybe air, the
Maybe.
illusion one. So I'll go to that one now, and I will see if I can interact with the ladder.
You're using
Don't
the
go
orb.
down.
I'm using the orb to guide me to the ladder.
Don't go down.
I'm not going to go down. I'm just going to see if I can go to the top of the ladder
Just
and touch
one
it.
Dimitri.
step.
Remember I've been dealing with Dimitri?
I'm just going to the top of the ladder and just seeing if I can touch the top of the ladder.
Okay, everyone hears this snapping sound. And then a ting, 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 thump.
Does Calcryx fall down a hole?
No, you broke the ladder.
Oh.
Well, we're not going down that way.
Sound like a long way
Technically, it
down.
was a trap, and because she grabbed the ladder, it broke the top bit, which was going to happen the moment someone put weight on it.
So it was some sort of trap?
Yeah.
There's traps everywhere in here.
What kind of trap?
So you know how you see sometimes when people are climbing ladder, the ladder breaks and they fall?
Oh, okay.
It's one of those traps.
Alright. And can I see what's down the pit with the eye?
You can.
What's down the pit, out of curiosity? Spikes?
Just trying to figure that out.
Crocodiles?
Okay, it seems to go down about 30, 40 feet. I just have to then read up on that section to figure out where it goes to.
Sorry.
There's While you're doing that, I'm like, there's been a lot of spike traps. Lots and lots of illusions over spike traps.
It's
And
a good thing.
Troll hunter arrows that like
Because
grow into you when...
If Cetus had dived into this pool, I suspect it would have ended differently.
Seems to go into a corridor
Oh, okay. So there's a corridor down there.
at the bottom of the ladder. There's also a ring from the ladder that fell off.
A rung.
Yep.
Okay. And can the eye see in that corridor at all?
You can. Yes, but you want to go down that corridor.
I
Don't go down.
I just want to look into the entrance of the corridor, and if I can see nothing from there, then I'll ask the group.
Okay, so it looks dark with cobwebs in the corridor.
Okay, so there appears to be a corridor down there. How far can I send the eye?
Not a huge distance from you.
Okay, so I'll call or instruct the eye to come back.
Mm-hmm.
But we know that there's a corridor down there, and we could possibly get down there if we wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know. We're not going down yet.
No.
Still got places to explore up here.
Yeah.
I don't think it's worth trying to go into... Like, we could probably destroy all the sturge that are in that room. It might... No, I'm not saying that.
We could just go out, close the door.
Or we
behind
could just
us.
go out and close the door.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That would be
Well,
Merc's preference.
Yes. Sounds good.
Yep.
Okay.
And
so
then go up to the secret door.
Depending on how big that room is,
I was going to go
could probably
down,
clear it out.
but... I was going to suggest south rather than north, but we can go north.
North has that secret door.
Secret doors
Yes.
sometimes have gold in them.
There's also sometimes a 10-ton pillar that falls on you.
We didn't know.
Sometimes.
So someone will have to do a investigate to find out how to open it.
Can we just go south?
Okay. I don't have an investigation.
I've done investigation.
Everyone has investigation.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
you
say
might
they're
not be
good at
proficient in it,
investigation.
I'm proficient in it, and a D4, which is a little one. So can I please make an investigation check
You can.
as I'm tapping around?
I got 17.
You got 17.
Pretty good.
Yeah, you sure that there's a door here somewhere?
I got 20.
The arrogant one said something about there being a door. In Dimitri.
I'm just getting images of the Bradshaw and Cheval. It's a room! It's definitely a room!
I only got 20.
Okay, so Calcryx and Merc find the hidden lever.
Nice.
Alright. Remembering.
Now, look at it with the orb, because once we had a door where what looked like the mechanism was actually a blade, and the mechanism was hidden in the wall.
I will look at it through the eye and with the orb.
Looks like this one actually is a lever.
Okay.
Handy.
It looks
Definitely,
like
that's what you do
both
with
hands.
Handy.
So this is when you pull it. Okay, there's a popping sound as the door opens up and she just goes, there's the door!
I told you there was a door here.
You were right.
And inside you see a short passageway and another wall. And Calcryx can see that there is a secret door on the far wall.
We've
Okay.
seen this.
Is this where we do another investigation?
Yep, you have to do it on every door. Until you figure out how to open them.
I do not go through the secret door. I'm staying in the current corridor we're in.
I rolled an 18 twice.
I only got 16.
I'm pleased with that. Which gives me exactly the same roll, 25.
Yeah, I'd be surprised it was different.
Oh, I've
Where'd you
only
get
just
that?
got what you were saying.
16.
It took me a while. It's been a long day.
Yes. Okay, so yes, you do find another lever here.
I look at it through the eye.
Doesn't appear to be a trap either.
Don't want sharpie. Does anyone want to open it in particular? I don't mind opening it, but
I think
I don't want to deprive people who like opening doors from opening.
Valen, hold this door.
We need to be conscious that, it may close the door behind us and lock us.
That's why
Okay.
I'm staying in this corridor.
Valen,
also in
any
the
door that we can
corridor. I've not gone
open,
into
unless
the
we
room.
tell you otherwise, will you please hold it open?
See, beholder.
Yes. But in shh.
Yeah.
Hold on.
That too. Because, we've had secret doors close behind us. All doors disappear.
Mm.
Okay, so who pulls this lever?
That's what I'm saying. Does anyone in particular want to open this
And
door?
the amusing thing is the two people who know where the lever is on the other door are the ones in the inside bit.
Well, did I see where they opened?
You're the one saying we should go south, and then they found these levers and pulled them.
Yeah.
Are you following us?
Merc's still in the
I would have been
Because
following
I'm
them.
not going
I just
too
would have been
far.
saying, we should go the other way.
You know they found something. You know roughly where to look. Worst that comes, I'm sure you can find it again.
Okay,
Who's...
Merc, come out and stand with Valen.
I'm in the hallway.
Okay, you still in the hallway?
Yeah.
So you didn't go in and investigate?
I investigated from afar.
Doesn't work like
Got a
that.
16.
Oh, I go back to the hallway.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah, the
I'm
group
where the red
together.
dot is.
Tyrellin, you got
Yes.
good dodginess.
Yep.
Do you want to open it?
Yes.
Calcryx, can you show Tyrellin where the mechanism is?
Okay. I'm not quite sure why I can't just open it, but sure, I'll do that.
They wanted to risk the extra elf of the party. They've already got, how many of them now?
I will say,
think we have-
let's open it.
We have
It
one
depends.
actual
And
elf,
I'll
we have
raise
a fake
your
elf,
hand
and a
to the
former
door.
elf.
We're waiting for Dothan.
Lever.
Sorry?
I'll say, let's open it together, and then guide Trillin's hand to the door lever.
I'm
Okay.
standing behind them.
And hopefully it's not a trap, and I don't go, wrong lever! Sorry.
And as the door opens, you can hear people on the other side screaming, "Biorcus, what the hell is that?" As we'll finish up the session there, because we know Martin has to leave.
Yeah.
Can we finish up with Calcryx lowers her dragon head to the door and looks in, and so they see a dragon?
Does that count as the third one?
The Biorgus, what the hell is that? Quoting the GM, not saying it myself.
As you can see, that
Valen's going to be confusing if Valen returns.
there's a bunch of humans, a bunch of orcs, all seem to be working together.
Which one was Valen?
Sort of like dogs and cats living together.
Who's Valen? I don't think I've met this one.
Valen's my squire / protector.
Also a fighter. You met Valen. He was the
He was
fighter that
Valen.
was here for a while. Yeah.
We do have a PC called Valen, who may or may not be returning,
Oh,
which will be interesting.
yeah, okay.
Ah. See,
My
that is why
Valen
you're
might
saying
have to
it.
go undergo a name change.
Might come Val.
So did anyone...
It's
I'll
the same
come up with
Valen,
a
just from
name.
different time points in the timeline.
Yes.
One's a Dragonborn,
He becomes
one's
a
an elf.
Dragonborn at some point. And so,
Actually, I'm pretty sure he's a dragon, a silver dragon.
No, Dragonborn,
He's Dragonborn?
as far as anyone knows. Okay, so did anyone want to add anything before we go to end credits?
Thank you
you.
for letting me
Great
join
game.
the game, and thank you for not killing me. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us, Calcryx.
My plan was to try and get one of them a swirly.